Two holes, Rose will grab the lead at the end of a round for the sixth time in his Masters career. He still just has the one major title, the 2013 U.S. Open at Merion. You're listening to coverage of the 2021 Masters on Westwood One.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If I'm not commuting anymore, where do I really want to live?
While you handle life's questions, Merrill Guided Investing helps you manage your portfolio and invest for your next move with the option to work with an advisor at a low cost and minimum. Merrill, a Bank of America company. Visit merrilledge.com/investing goals to get started today.
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated, both a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor, member SIPC. Investment products are not FDIC insured or not bank guaranteed and may lose value.
Let's check the leaderboard, sponsored by Grainger. Grainger has supplies and solutions for every industry. Visit Grainger.com. Justin Rose surging to the top of the leaderboard this afternoon. 6 under today through 16 holes. 3 shots better than Brian Harman and Hideki Matsuyama, both with 3 under 69s today. At 2 under, Will Zalatoris, Webb Simpson, Christian Bezuidenhout from South Africa, and Patrick Reed, the Masters champion from 2018. So they're 2 under and 4 back. At 1 under par, Siwoo Kim, Jason Kokrak, and Tyrrell Hatton. Hatton still on the course. He has 3 holes to go. Dustin Johnson at 2 over 74. Brooks Koepka also 2 over today. Jordan Spieth 1 over through 12. From Augusta, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Thursday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Filthy Phil there in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale, and you guys are on the Summit Mail Medical text line, 888-368-1580. How about them Suns, Phil? How about them Suns? A 117 to 113 over the who? Who? The Utah Jazz, Phil.
You know what? Can I say something?
You got nothing to say. You got nothing to
Can
say.
I say 2 things?
Unless it's very positive. And yes, Jeffrey, you were right, and you told me so.
No. You didn't say that they would win. You said you don't know who it was and that it was going to be an entertaining game.
Sorry, let me. No, I said that about the
that was the
NCAA championship.
It had nothing to do with the Suns.
What I said about the Suns were you were a dweeb for ditching on them, and I was absolutely correct. And all this hate you have laid on the Suns after the Suns beat the Utah Jazz, you got nothing to say. You should have nothing to say other than you guys are right. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Can I please come back and be a Suns fan again? That's all you really should say right now.
I have 2 things to say. First off,
oh, brother,
that was actually an impressive win. I don't want to get back on the bandwagon, but it was an impressive win. I will give them that. Devin Booker, I mean, there's a lot of context that we can add to it, but Devin Booker did not play well, yada, yada, yada. But all in all, it was an impressive win. And number two, and I think far more importantly, how in the hell is Chris Paul not in the MVP discussion? How? How? He's not even in the top 5 or top 10 right now. And it makes no sense. Whenever you see a game like that last night, all I think is, wow, I'm a fan of how Chris Paul helps organize and get this team in and out of sets, moving the ball and doing all this. How is he not in the MVP discussion? And that's all.
You mean the
he's
guy
playing unselfishly?
You mean the guy that everybody was ragging on when they made the deal to bring CP3 here, the old man? You mean that oft injured guy that's not going to help the Suns with you mean that guy that what's a terrible deal? You mean that guy? Is that the guy you mean?
Come on.
There is not a whole lot of mistruth to those comments. He is an old guy. He is oft injured. But I was wrong about my part where I thought this guy was just a jerk. Turns out, yeah, he's not. He really isn't. He just plays the game with the refs. I still don't like that. But in general, he is a leader and he has played unselfishly. And that goes to your question, Phil, about why isn't he in the MVP conversation? He's not that flashy player. He's a team player. And yeah, he is just money when you need him. And I said this before, and I'll say it again. He is lights out, the best point guard in all of basketball for at least a quarter of every game. And that's it. I mean, he's still pretty good the rest of the time, but he does. You watch him. You watch the style of his play. He goes crazy for a quarter, and you're just like, oh, my God. What he's been doing, though, lately with the Suns is being unselfish and just pouring it on when he feels like he needs to pour it on.
Yeah.
So,
and that's why he's not had any serious injuries this year. Knock on wood.
Right? Not playing hero ball.
No, that's exactly right. He doesn't feel like he needs to carry this team. He can help this team. He can lead this team, and he's shown this team, being an on-court coach, that they are indeed very talented and can win games against pretty much anybody in the league. Now, granted, let me say this first. This is the regular season. This is not the playoffs. The playoffs is second season. And I get that. But for a Phoenix Suns team that's been subpar, even below mediocrity, to come out and play as well as they have this season, I am super excited about this team, and I'm hoping nothing but the best for them.
We do not believe in moral victories on this show. We are always very careful to not to do that. And you're right. Regular season game. Who knows what way it could have gone? But I'll tell you what. There is no denying the Phoenix Suns right now. Not just Phil. Let's just take Phil out of the equation.
Yeah.
Young man, he know not what he do. But the rest of the land, boy, have they taken notice of last night's game? That had a playoff feel to it.
It was a good game.
Just watch the Phoenix Suns continue, and as Chris Paul said, that was their chance to show their depth, and they showed the depth. Now they could easily slide back into bad habits. They could easily watch some easy game get away from them. But right there, that was the answer to how are they going to do when they go up against somebody like the Utah Jazz? So I am thrilled with where the Suns are right now. And 36-14. They're 19-8 at home, and that ain't bad.
Yep.
That ain't bad.
Yeah, and the thing that really stands out to me is when you look at the stat sheets after every game. You see a great diversity on the team. It's not just laying in there with one guy or two guys, but you see a pretty damn good, a distribution of the stats around there. And how about last night for the Phoenix Suns to shoot 80% from the free throw line and still sneak out a win? That's because the Jazz only shot 66% from the charity stripe. You can't do that. When they give you points, you've got to take those points.
I feel like Phil is going to put on a brave face. I feel like he's not going to relent, but deep down, he's regretting his decision.
No,
deep down,
not at all.
he had not bandwagoned away from the Phoenix Suns. I don't even care what he says
whatsoever.
next. It's likely a lie. But
think
go ahead,
right.
Phil.
Yeah.
I still, nothing about last night's win and victory for the Phoenix Suns has changed my outlook on how this team will lose whenever they meet a Los Angeles team. And you know what? I would even say the Denver Nuggets are looking scary good. I don't know how their prospects would be against them. I think that they give the Jazz a 7-game series if they were to somehow meet them. I just don't believe that this team can make it anywhere near the NBA Finals. But
are they playing the Clippers tonight? I think they are.
They are in a back-to-back.
What time does that start? What time does that start?
Let me look.
I can't wait for that game. I couldn't wait for last night's game, but I got pulled away doing station business, so I didn't get to actually watch it until later. So
Tonight
I was very bummed out.
At 7 p.m.
There you go. So, all right, Phil. So if the beating the Utah Jazz ain't enough, and you're saying there's no way you could take on the LA teams, well, okay, let's see what happens again with the Clippers. If I'm not mistaken, didn't the Suns beat the Clippers last time they played? Where is it going to be enough for you, Phil? When's it going to be enough? If
you
they
know
win
when
a
it's going to be
championship?
enough for me is when Rondo actually plays for them. He's not going to be playing tonight. I think
So
Kawhi's sitting
even
out.
if the Suns win a championship, Phil's going to have excuses.
No.
And he's never going to admit that he made a horrible, stupid decision to turn his back on the Phoenix Suns.
They even make it to the finals. They make it to the finals and lose in 4 games. I don't care. They make it to the finals. I will give them their due.
Give them their dues, not the same as admitting you've made a horrible, life-altering mistake.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know exactly what you're saying, Jeffco. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 888-368-1580. Let's go to the text line. Prison Wallet. He got in early to say this. If the Suns can't win tonight, unfortunately, it'll show that they are not ready to be champions. They have to be able to beat the good teams back-to-back in playoff series.
Well, but not
even a playoff series, you just got to win enough to win the series. You don't always win back to back, but I understand what you're saying. Jagdog says, Suns win. Shut up, Phil. Heavy Metal Maniac says, tell it like it is, Jeffrey. Tell that bandwagon fan, take a hike. We don't want him back in the Suns Nation. He can stay on the Lakers bandwagon. 3-2-1 Hills going to start bagging on the Suns any second that they can't lose to the Lakers.
Boy, that's falling apart quick, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. What's 3-2-1 Hills?
Not sure.
Yeah, the Heavy Metal Maniac, we were with you until just the end of that voice text. Navy Brad says, welcome back around here.
Well, thank you. It's good to be back. Major technology struggles in the western part of our valley here. I don't know if anybody else has experienced it, but apparently people have forgotten how to fix internet. So here I am at the Harmon Solar Studios in beautiful uptown Scottsdale. Ladies and gentlemen, I am back.
So I'm jealous enough that, I'm going back to next Monday.
Hey.
I will be back as well. And I don't know how that's going to go. I'll be honest.
You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Yeah.
No, here's the thing. I'm not afraid of it. What I'm worried about is me. I have found that after a year of working remotely, it's not even just about work. It's just life. I've become very awkward in all social situations. I don't know how to act. I don't know how to talk to people in person. I don't even know how to leave the house correctly.
This is just you learning this in quarantine?
Yes, okay. I was perfectly normal before. Individual results may vary on how you interact with me socially, but as far as knowing where I'm going, what I'm doing, how I'm doing this, and what's what, or the right things to say when I'm faced with an actual human being in person, it's I don't know. It was not like riding a bike. I'm very awkward, and I've never been in my life awkward with people. So I don't know. This whole science experiment. I got to get over that.
I think you're going to be fine.
Just the Tip says, good afternoon, gentlemen. Go Suns, and welcome back, Randy. I'd like to ask you for 2 things: an Evan Williams neat and a rousing, you're on my last damn nerve, Phil.
You're on my last damn nerve, Phil.
And give him a shut up, too, for good measures.
I don't want to overdo it here. We're just getting underway.
Chief, who feels like he doesn't get enough exposure on the morning show and on Big Steve's main event, is on the text line and says, Chris Paul's a jerk when he's not in your team. Jazz fans probably weren't thrilled that he tried to high-five Mitchell after a free throw miss, but that was fantastic. Nothing but love to the point guard. I saw that where he tries to give him like a little something, but at least Mitchell's like, get away from me. What the hell is wrong with you? That was funny. Fed fan says, Suns look great. Hey, Eric Bledsoe, suck it. Karma's a bitch, ain't it, Mr. Bledsoe?
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, and it's going to be the same thing for Phil. Big George says, wait, Phil thinks the LA teams are better than the Suns? Has he actually seen the standings where the Suns are ahead of them?
You're going to be ranking all this on the standings? Okay. All right. Enjoy.
I can't wait till the Suns beat the Lakers again. I can't wait till they play again.
I will say this. I have less faith in the Clippers, but at least I know the Lakers will beat the Suns.
Where is the schedule? Somebody bring up the schedule. When's the next time the Suns play the Lakers?
Oh, let me look it
up. I don't know if they play them the rest of this season.
I was talking to Radio Ron today, and I said, if everything is starting to happen
Lakers,
where people are getting vaccinated and we can find safe ways of doing things, I want to do a live remote broadcast for our Daily Blender Fantasy Football Draft Party in late August. But I might say, let's do a remote broadcast for this Suns versus Lakers game.
Yeah, Suns at Lakers, unfortunately, but Suns at Lakers Sunday, May 9th.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too soon. That's too soon. I don't know. I don't know when too soon is. I really don't know yet. We're still just trying to figure this thing out as we go. But yes, we that's the day. I can't wait for that day.
Well,
Can't wait for that day, Phil.
I will caution you. That is towards the end of the season. That is their fifth from the last game. So you may have AD and LeBron both back in the lineups, getting tuned up since they've been sitting on their ass for the last couple of weeks.
I want them back. It's even better because that'll shut Phil's face.
Oh no!
Bam.
And let me guess. Are you going to build in the excuses now or later? Of
No,
the
see,
Suns
here's
were
the thing. That's a
resting.
purely Phil thing to build in excuses. Whatever happens will happen. If the Lakers are victorious, we salute you. If the Suns win, that is your ass, Phil.
Wow. You just
Papa-
said it like it is.
Papa Mike says, sounds like you're the same to me, Jeffrey. I'm not, am I awkward? I'm not awkward around
No,
people.
no.
I might be a bit standoffish when I first, if I don't know somebody, but in general, I may not, I don't know. I know how to leave a damn room at least. Nowadays, I just feel weird. Big George says, aren't playoff positions based on the standings, Phil? Yeah, standings matter a lot.
From the regular
Phil.
season.
Yeah, standings matter a lot for the matchups that ensue. Not as good of a verified team as you are. How every year in the playoffs and in the finals do we get the number one versus the number one, or are they the two best
So
teams?
the Suns' record, not enough for Phil.
No.
The Suns beating the Jazz, not enough for Phil. The Suns having beat the Lakers this year already, not enough for Phil. The Suns having beaten the Clippers already this year, not enough for Phil. I don't know what you need, kid. I don't know.
I need them to prove it in the postseason. Because I can, as many times as you said that they've had a good win, I can point to inexcusable losses.
Yeah,
Inexcusable
that's fair.
losses.
That's fair, but you can also say the same thing about the Jazz and the Lakers and the Clippers and the Nets. Inexcusable losses are just a part of the NBA season. Now, here's the thing. How many of those do you have? If you have a bunch of those, you have a problem. If you have a couple of those, you have a regular season.
Oh, I mean, I think that the Suns have a tremendous one. Of course, the infamous one that will always go down in my mind, at least for this season, is losing against the two of the three-less Brooklyn Nets trio, and having Harden having just come from Houston on the red eye with the full-on pillow in the front and pillow in the back, and working his way back into shape with nobody on that roster, no Blake Griffin, no LaMarcus Aldridge, nothing to deal with, and you let him not only cook you, but you let him come back from, I believe it was a 14-point deficit. And that was inexcusable, horrible loss, and one of the worst losses in the NBA.
So do you feel like the Suns,
stop.
do you feel like the Suns learned anything from those losses?
I think
This young team with a new mentor.
young team. Have you seen Chris Paul?
Okay. I said the mentor. I said with a mentor. He's the mentor.
Jay Crowder's not that young. He's no spring chicken.
I don't know.
Oh, he doesn't matter?
No,
Dario
no,
Saric is-
he's no
is-
mentor.
So my question was,
Yeah, no doubt.
do you think
Way
they
to
learned
evade,
anything?
Phil.
Do they think they learned anything from those losses?
I think that they'll learn something going forward into the future in years.
But you don't
to
think they
come.
learned from those losses?
No.
Interesting. Interesting.
I wonder if Phil will learn from this bandwagoning situation.
I can't
Prison
wait
Wallet
for the playoffs.
says, Phil, hey, Phil, are you
Yes.
willing to wager your job on the Lakers?
Jeez Louise. On the Lakers, why would I put it on the Lakers? I'd be willing to wager my Speedo collection.
Oh, geez.
Yeah,
here we
nobody
go.
wants
You guys
it.
wouldn't take that? You guys
Oh,
wouldn't
no.
take the
Nobody
whole
wants
Speedo
it.
Here we go.
Moist one would, but that'd be it. That's the only
on the
taker.
fact that the
Yeah.
Phoenix Suns won't even make the finals.
Yeah. Boomer Sooner says, boy, oh boy, it's way too early in the show for this, but Phil, shut the hell up. Fish Tank says, Phil, do you ever get tired of defending yourself all day, or do you prefer an hour-long talk about weddings on your own podcast?
You know
What
what?
the hell's that about?
Again, I
Who's
appreciate-
getting married?
No, on my personal podcast, the Powwow Podcast, one of our previous episodes, we talked about weddings and being officiants and everything else. So it's a different type of subject matter, of course. So I appreciate Fish Tank for being a loyal listener. It sounds like. Thank you so much, man. But
Who's
no,
getting
do I
married?
do it? Actually, my the co-host's sister,
Mm,
and he's going to be an officiant.
okay.
Yeah.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, blame John Elway. Okay. He lost the Super Bowl so many times. Phil can't even believe anything until somebody wins it all.
Wow.
He won back-to-back to end his career, and he
Big
retired on
Steve,
top.
Yes, this was my point. The Suns are one of the youngest teams in the entire league, Phil.
Okay.
Minus a guy or two.
Minus a guy or two. Yeah, enjoy.
But still, let's see here. Heavy Metal Maniac says, Phil, shut the hell up. Josh says, Phil, the reason the Suns lost to the Nets is because they don't need the extra players who they got this season. They're the best team in basketball. They just have extra ammunition now.
They had just traded away their entire bench depth for James Harden and pretty much half the friggin' roster. Spencer Dinwiddie's not on that team just for James Harden, who had just freshly been acquired from Houston and not having been playing. And he still had a Tonka truck on the front and the back, and nobody was on there to help supply him.
Hello in the front and the back, and then a Tonka truck in the front and the back.
It's movable.
What's
it was
with
a
you
lot
in the front and the back lately?
If you ask some of the listeners, there's a lot in the back that I talk about. But anyways.
By the way, who is that guy who was 26 over par after only 4 holes earlier today in the Masters? We're going to talk about the Masters more in the next hour, but did you guys see that guy?
I did not. I'm looking on the leaderboard right now. There's been a lot of weird things going on. Tommy Fleetwood just moments ago got an ace on the 16th, I believe. He shot a hole-in-one on the 16th. Let's see, 26 over on after 4 holes.
Yeah, but it's gone now. Now the worst player is Larry Mize with 12 over and 84.
Wow.
So I don't know if this guy fell off the board, if he was disqualified or what. But after 4 holes, I just looked at it, I was like, is that a typo? Did somebody
he walk off the and just walk away?
Went swimming in one of the ponds? I mean, what the hell happened there?
Wow.
Hey, if anybody was paying attention to this, let me know. I'm kind of curious. And this is as curious as I get about golf. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, yes, we are quite happy about the Phoenix Suns winning. Phil is just begrudgingly having to admit that it was fairly amazing. But we have other sports we got to talk about. We'll spend very little time talking about the Coyotes and the Diamondbacks because it just hurts so much. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
From the Augusta National Golf Club, Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the Masters. I'm Ted Emmerich. It's really like Justin Rose is playing a different course from the rest of the field.
Justin Rose, this from 147, his second shot. The leader by 3, flag is front right, and this is right next to it, and almost went in. Justin Rose landed it short and right. It kicked a little left, and it's 3 feet away from the hole. Justin Rose is locked in right now.
Yes, a birdie there at 17. He follows with a par at 18. Brian Katrick with the call on Sirius XM. You would have never been able to predict this. Rose carries his lowest world ranking in more than a decade, 41st entering the Masters. Rose, remember, was number 1 in the world just 2 years ago. He's number 1 on the leaderboard at the moment, a 7 under 65 today, and Rose has a 4-shot lead. You're listening to coverage of the 2021 Masters on Westwood One.
Oh, come on! 4!
There it is. In golf, the right adjustments can make all the difference. We feel the same way about financial planning. With Fidelity Wealth Management, your dedicated advisor will work with you to create a personalized plan for your full financial picture. And as your needs change, they'll help you make adjustments so you can stay on target. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's opponents on Man versus Train. At the crossing, we have Rick, a 175-pound frustrated man who's running late for work. And on the tracks, we have Bull, a 1 million-pound freight train that takes a mile to stop. Let's see who comes out on top.
You can't beat a train, so don't try. Stop. Trains can't. Paid for by NHTSA.
Let's check the first round leaderboard, sponsored by NHTSA. Never try to beat a train across the tracks. Stop. Trains can't. Tough course, pavement like greens, the wind, it doesn't matter to Justin Rose. He cards a 7 under 65, and he holds a 4-shot lead over Brian Harmon and Hideki Matsuyama, both at 3 under par. At 2 under, Webb Simpson, Christian Bezadenhout, and Patrick Reed. Siwoo Kim, Jason Kokrak, Shane Lowry, Tyrrell Hatton, all at 1 under. Lowry, the last British Open champion, Royal Portrush a couple of years ago. John Rahm, even par 72 in his first competitive round as a father. Jordan Spieth is 1 over through 13. He is 8 back. Tommy Fleetwood, an ace at the par 3 16th, 2 over, 9 back. Fleetwood also had a hole-in-one 2 weeks ago at the match play in Austin. Dustin Johnson, defending champion, 2 over 74. That is 9 shots back. From Augusta, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
The Suns are entering the second half of the NBA season.
Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, stay with us as the Suns get set to shine.
How will they fare down the stretch? Do they have what it takes to win the playoffs? If it's sports, we talk about it. 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic,
Arizona's new home for sports.
Today's Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. You can hear us on 99.3 FM, 95.9 FM in the East Valley, always at 1580thefanatic.com. Yes, indeedy, Speedy. The Suns' win last night was a beautiful thing. It made me very happy. Put a smile on my face and a little bit of an uncomfortable frown on poor Phil's face. But that's all right. We're not going to beat up on Phil all day, a lot of the day, but not all day for his bandwagoning ways when he just abandoned the Phoenix Suns, his team, to go to another team. We're not going to do that the entire day. We have other things that we got to talk about.
Can I just say that this fallacy of them being one of the youngest teams, there's only 6 teams above them with an average age.
Well,
of the
Steve
entire,
said in the playoff chase.
In the playoff chase. I mean, geez Louise. I mean, that still incorporates
That's
a
2
lot.
G's Louise. You're going to give somebody alcohol poisoning. There are
know.
people who have drinking contests for some of your phraseology. I would be careful, Phil.
I wonder if they're going straight vodka or if they're watering it down at this
I
point.
feel like the Dram Shop Act is going to come back and bite us on the ass somehow if we're not careful here.
Especially if we know that that's what happens, and just any time I have a reaction, geez Louise.
Yeah, you're going to have to take that up with Ron. If you get a suit or something.
Oh, wow.
Anyways, what was your point? Yeah, you're wrong about the fact that they are one of the youngest teams.
No, that's not
because
true.
in the playoff race is connected to it.
In the
So
playoff,
who else is in the playoff race that is younger?
okay. Let's see. The Bulls are still there. The Spurs are still there.
The Bulls? Did you say the Chicago
The
Bulls?
Bulls are still in the playoff race. That was the qualification.
Wow.
They are right now the 8th seed, if I'm not
Okay,
mistaken.
realistically.
That's the
Realistically,
playoffs.
not
They
just
are in the
mathematically.
playoffs right now.
Oh, the Bulls are garbage, and you know
But
it.
they're in the playoffs. Was that
Oh
not
my
the
God.
qualification?
That was the qualifier. That was
That's
the
the
qualifier.
qualifier.
Yeah.
Well, I just requalified the qualifier with realistically. Can we have a grown-up conversation and not just one that you're going to use numbers to sort of skew?
76ers, does that do something for you?
Hey, now that's
Those are-
nice.
That's actually numbers as the team as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Atlanta Hawks, they're now, ever since they fired their coach early in the season, they have been tremendous. And I think, didn't they also beat the Suns recently? I'm pretty.
No,
I didn't pay any attention.
Anyways,
Eh.
let's see who else. Of course, the Portland Trailblazers,
Which the Suns have beaten easily.
which the Suns have beaten easily. The Golden State Warriors,
Which the Suns have beaten easily.
they had ups and downs. Didn't they
Come
lose
on,
to them
man.
earlier in there? I'm saying if you're going to your whatever, they're even within just the playoffs. There
Hey,
are
Randy.
people that have younger.
I'm pretty sure I won that one.
Hmm.
Oh,
Pretty sure I won that one.
Well, I mean, he is right. The Hawks are very strong since they hit the reset button with their coach.
Sure. But see, that's just like one team in the conversation. And also, the original statement was one of the youngest teams, not the absolute youngest team in all of the NBA.
how superfluous is that? First year, how do I win if you keep moving the
You will
goalpost?
never win.
Oh, is that
That's Jeffrey's strategy.
Yeah,
Move
that's
the
the way it
target.
works around
That's
here.
right, man.
Oh, okay, that's
You
where I'm
got to
getting
learn how to hit a moving target.
Yeah.
Watch me dance.
I just got to move. I got to move 2 steps ahead.
Yeah.
Big George says, my wedding is in less than 4 weeks. It's on Sunday, May 2nd in San Diego. It's going to be one hell of a celebration,
Yeah,
and
it is.
everyone will be fully vaccinated.
Yeah.
Congratulations. When are we invited? I want an open bar.
And George is going to give her a little vaccination.
Oh, whoa.
Hey, now.
All right. Prison Wallet says, I will wager my Garbage Pail Kid collection against your Speedo collection, Phil. Phil will then post a video of me burning your entire collection of Speedos. Oh, I see what he's saying.
yeah.
He'll bet that against you, and then when he wins, he will burn all of the Speedos that you own.
Here's the problem is that I don't know that I want your garbage pail collection because I'm not going to any Astros games in the near future.
Oh, it's I think it's Garbage Pail Kids. Isn't that it?
Oh, can't you
It's
do
a
I mean,
collectible thing.
It's another
next
good
level, right?
nickname for the Astros.
Yeah,
The Garbage Pail Kids. Yeah.
The Houston Trash Toads.
Yeah.
Hefty Lefty says, afternoon, Blender friends. Glad to hear you got your Cox problem resolved, Randy. But
Nope.
he didn't. His Cox is still broken.
Yeah, my Cox is broken.
His Cox is
so
down.
I had to lump it on down here to the Harmon Solar Studios. So here
Yeah.
I am right here.
I've never heard of the Cox Communications being down that long.
Well,
something huge
must
have
have been some sort of catastrophic event.
Now-
don't you think?
Now,
Either
it
that
must
or
be.
Randy used the money for beer and didn't pay the bill.
Now, Randy, what do you and Miss Kim do without internet? Do you guys go out and read a book?
Well,
Phil,
I
let
mean-
me help you out with.
I
You don't want to
mean,
ask that question.
I
Let
don't
me
want to
just
kiss and
step in.
tell, but I mean,
The other
we
problem
come
for-
up with things to do.
the problem for Randy is he was one of the what they call, I don't know if you've heard this terminology before, Phil, but he's
Cord
a
cutter?
Oh, so you've heard it. Don't ever interrupt me again, because that's not what I was going to say. He's a cable clipper. That's what he is.
Nice.
And so when the internet goes down,
Yeah.
you may as well have just turned out the
Well, I mean,
lights.
it was emergency situation. I actually picked up and started reading a book, a real book. Yes.
Paper?
Yeah.
Actual paper?
Yeah. Hardcover book. Yes.
That's amazing.
With the words in it and the typeset and all that stuff. Yeah.
Well, what was it about?
It was a book about Neil Armstrong, who was first man.
Huh. Who was the first man?
Neil Armstrong.
Don't ruin the book for me. God damn. Now I forget it. Spoiler. Jesus. Josh says, the Knicks are all quite young, if I'm not mistaken. So they are still in the playoff race, so to speak. We weren't looking for so to speak, Josh. We were looking for realistic. Hela Ben Mike says, I got off work late. Hey, Randy, can you rewind the show?
Yeah, let's
we're not. No.
let me go
no,
ahead and spin
no,
up the old machine here.
No, we're not going to spin up the old machine.
No?
No,
No,
you can just
no.
go back and listen to the podcast. We're a half hour in. It's
Damn it.
too far in to rewind anything.
Yeah. All right.
Also, he says, eat it, Phil. Lakers suck.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Oh, we're straight to the heart. I'm skewered.
And Hela Ben Mike says, that's all you've got left, Phil? Age criticism? The Suns are just too good for you.
I wasn't making my entire point on there.
You totally were. And I just
my
made it so. Wing Guru says, the Fanatic is having a good afternoon. Big Steve had a good show, and you Blender guys are off to a good start. Now, if they can only get poor Dale Hellestray a quality partner.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Oh, why you got to do that to me? Santa's number one helper says Randy will out fiber cut out on the west side. Give
What?
me a weather forecast to get this crap fixed. I think Santa's helper is actually working on the fiber being cut issue.
Oh, fiber
on the
got
west
cut.
side.
Oh, no. Yeah, that can take a long time to fix, too. Hey, when you cut the fiber, right, when you're talking strands and strands and strands of
I
glass.
can't live without it. Without it, I can't poop.
Well, it's what happened? What?
Well, the fiber. Without fiber, I can't poop.
Oh, no, not that kind of fiber.
You want to do another report?
Oh, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
All right.
From the 1580 The Fanatic Studios, home at the Harmon Solar Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Randy White. Going to be hot. Basically hot, some mixed clouds in there. 90s for your highs throughout the week. Oh, my God. Wait, there's a cooling trend. We're going to get next Thursday, a week from today, clouds. Wait, now hold everything down now. 81 degrees. It's a cooling trend moving through the valley. Other than that, probably be November before it really cools off. From the 1580 The Fanatic Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Randy White. Back to you, Jeffco.
So the valley has been drier than it has been in many
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Very, very dry out there. Now, I don't know if that means there'll be less growth to catch on fire or if that just means everything's going to catch on fire.
Yeah.
I don't know what we have in store for us this summer as far as, the blazing, but I get a little worried when I see those sorts of reports on how dry it's been.
Yeah. And what happens is the latter part of what you were saying, things that are normally a very succulent and nice, they dry out and turn into, that tinder. And then, yeah.
I'm glad we live in the city limits. 'Cause, I don't want
How do we get the valley wet? I think that's
Well,
what the question posed
there has to
here.
be a gathering of the right meteorological conditions where moisture moves in.
I'll just
Generally,
take my shirt off. Hold on.
off the. Oh dear God! Don't do that. No.
You want the valley
No,
wet? I got it covered.
no, Jeffrey, no.
Too much?
You
Too
remember what
sexy?
happened last
Oh,
time?
yeah, it's too
Oh
sexy.
my God, we lost 3/4 of our listening audience. So,
That was hurtful. That was very hurtful. What you just said.
all those people passed out. It was impressive.
No. You don't backpedal. Don't backpedal.
I'm not back.
Hefty Lefty says, was the book the Karma Sutra?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't need that book.
Yeah, he's got it all memorized.
Mhm.
Just Tip says a few years ago, I had a contract to deliver emergency parts for Cox. A car had crashed into a substation, wiped out services for a huge area. I
Wow.
made a lot of money that day because they need a lot of parts delivered over a long several bunch of days right there.
Yeah.
And by the way, I don't want to beat up on Phil today, but it would be easy and fun. That said, I do respect Phil for sticking to his guns. He's got a little I'm not reading that. Love him or hate him, I always like to listen. Somehow in the back of my mind, I would like to see him face plant in the back of a van while he was texting on his bike. That was just the Tip is like all over the road. Compliment him, hurt him, compliment him, hurt him.
Yeah.
He's talking about this video I saw today where this idiot is on a 10 speed and he's texting as he rides and he goes right in the back of a delivery van and face plants. But that's not even the only thing. If you watch it again in slow motion, not only does he face plant at speed in the back of the truck, the handlebars get him in the nuts. And it's just, here's the thing. It's funny because he was okay. If he had been seriously hurt, well, I wouldn't be laughing about it, but that was just, I love that video. And several people who found that on my Twitter there, they said they can't stop watching it.
Yeah.
It is that good. If you want to check it out, go to @RadioPal1580. @RadioPal1580 and do like I did. Put it on a loop and just laugh and laugh and laugh. Or if you can go to Randy, what's your Twitter?
Yeah, it's at Radio Randy 777.
Filthy Speedo.
@Filthy Speedo, PHILTHY.
All right. So those are our Twitters. And of course, you can find us all at 1580 The Fanatic. But yeah, that video, God Lord, if I needed anything like that today, that was just like the clouds opened and that ray of sunshine hit.
Wow.
So
Good stuff.
President Wallet says, guys, I love the show. I actually started liking basketball because of you.
No kidding.
Phil. Shut up, Phil.
I was about to say congratulations.
Wow. Papa Mike says, Phil, haven't you heard about Randy and Miss Kim's 6 children? Ask your parents what Randy and Miss Kim do when the cable goes out. They obviously miss teaching you that lesson.
Well, it's not actually Miss Kim and I's children together. She actually has 2. Miss Kim came along after me and the first Mrs. had the 6 kids.
But let's be honest, it's a fun hobby.
No, yeah.
Heelman Mike says, when I was working for a small fence company down south, we knocked a fiber optic cable out and we had Sprint people and cops there in less than like an hour. Thank God it had been mismarked. We were looking at a $25,000 bill and fine on that thing.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Randy's poor internet, but hopefully they get that fixed pretty soon. Large Marge says, welcome back, Rando. Hope you enjoyed National Beer Day. Wink, wink.
Yeah, I didn't have any beer yesterday.
Not going to dignify flavor of the week, boy. Shut up, Phil. Big George says, you get the valley wet by bringing in George Clooney, Brad Pitt, and Ryan Gosling. Then the valley gets drenched.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that. I think Jeffrey is every bit a good mixture of all 3 of those.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, pretty sure if you're using Tinder the right way, Okay. Enough of that. Prison Wallet said, Jeffrey, I know what's wrong with Phil. He was raised by your ex-wife and you weren't there to guide him.
Jeez.
For the last time, Phil is not my child. I don't know why that rumor was. Oh, that's right. Phil started that rumor. That's right. I forgot. Yeah. Well, okay. Knock it off. All right. So let's talk about some sports briefly that we really don't want to talk about. Coyotes lost to the Kings 4-3. And
Man.
I don't know. And here's the thing. They've only lost 3 out of the last 10 games. We shouldn't be down on them. But I don't want to talk about the Coyotes losing. I definitely don't want to talk about the Diamondbacks. Last night, they lost 8-0 to the Rockies.
Yeah.
So what's their current score right now?
Got news for you. The game is over and they lost again. 7-3 final. Rockies beat the Diamondbacks. So I think by now they have fallen into the cellar of the National League West.
Hell was that, Phil?
That was a mispunch. I meant to put the boo.
Yeah, I don't think you understand. We don't need a bunch of sound effects on this show. We generally don't just use sound effects on the show that much. We just when we do things, we do things. You know, you don't have to always fill the space with the noise.
Okay.
So just hold your fire.
Well, I'll hold.
Yeah, I'm worried.
Hold your fire.
So yeah, that the Diamondbacks dropped 2 in a row. Nobody is surprised. Hard to see the Rockies 8-0 one night, 7. What'd you say? 3 just now.
7-3, yeah, for the afternoon getaway game. Yeah.
All right, but that's as much as I want to talk about that because I want to stay happy. After the Suns win, I want to stay happy, and here's how I'm going to do that. Kenley Jansen blew a save. For the Dodgers.
Well, you got a lot. Anytime the Dodgers lose, the air is a little cleaner, the water is a little purer, and the food tastes a little better.
Yeah, listen, as bad as the Diamondbacks are, at least the Dodgers are going to continue to struggle this season. And Kenley Jansen is really giving people some concern right there. So, all right, that helped my mood, brought me back up. We will come back and we'll talk a little man law, and we got some NFL on the way too. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
The Masters on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, sponsored by Harmon Solar, IQ Wealth Management, Summit Male Medical Center, Kasai Japanese Steakhouse.
Is it his time?
Follow along with the 85th Annual Masters Tournament. Listen for daily updates Wednesday through Sunday, followed by the Masters Tonight Show at 7 p.m. The 85th Annual Masters Tournament, exclusively on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. Now, we've seen interest rates go as low as we've seen them in years recently. We've also seen them bouncing around. A lot of uncertainty of what is going on in the loan game as far as mortgages are concerned. That's why I lean on my friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. They have been in business for 20 plus years here in the Valley. They only lend in Arizona. They are trusted. They'll get you that reliable quote. And if you're thinking about refinancing, whether it's to just lower your rate, maybe lower the terms of your rate, maybe down to 15 or 20 years, or if you're like, hey, we got a lot of debt on the side, we got some problems going on, we want to consolidate debt, or I've always wanted a pool. Now's the time to do it. Take some of that equity out, refinance, and get things done around your house that you want. But you got to use the best in the business. That's the Lund Mortgage Team. 623-875-9940. 623-875-9940. Or check them out online, lundmortgage.com.
Last summer, Arizona experienced record heat. Hottest summer in Arizona history. 145 days of 100+ degrees. 53 days of over 110. Summer heat is starting sooner and it's lasting longer, and your power bills are more expensive every year. Take control of your power bills. Call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar is locally owned and operated. They use top-of-the-line equipment, and they're A+ rated with a Better Business Bureau. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com. Harmon Solar is an REC certified solar professional.
This is Dale Hellestrade from my friends at Constructors Bonding. If you need bonds, you can put your trust in Arizona's industry leader for the best service, rates, terms, and capacity anywhere. Constructors Bonding is the #1 writer with 14 sureties and will improve your bond program. Call Dave McKee today to learn how Constructors Bonding will perform for you. 602-432-5929. That's 602-432-5929, or visit cbialliance.com.
Everybody, Mark Asher, about to tell you about my friends at Valley Medical Weight Loss. I love this company. I've used them. I have friends that have used them. A ton of weight has been lost in a quick amount of time, and the right way. That's the important part. Look, they have 3 Valley locations, Tempe, Glendale, and Phoenix. So one is close to you, and they've been doing this for well over a decade. And right now you can get your first week, $31.95, absolutely free. Just mention Money Radio or mention the Fanatic, and it is on them. 602-441-3305 or valleymedicalweightloss.com.
The Fanatic.
The Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. Coming up on Friday, a brand new edition of the race setup with Randy White and that chief guy there. Hey, Randy, what have you guys figured out what's going on the show today?
Yeah, we actually have Alex Hayden from MRN. He's going to be joining us. We're talking about Martinsville, which is coming up this weekend as NASCAR returns to racing on a short track oval. We also talk about the next gen car that is in development right now and will be released next year. We're very excited. We've got a lot of stuff going on. Alex Hayden again joins us. Chief and I will get you all set up for this weekend's racing Friday night, 6:00.
So why do they have some races on Sundays and every now and then there's a race on Saturday? What is the thought process?
Well, I mean, sometimes they have a race on Saturday night just to change it up. There might be some sort of interference between a TV schedule. So the TV's, the network has asked them to move it. Other times there might be a holiday on Sunday, like a Mother's Day or a Father's Day or something like that. So they will race on Saturday night. That's why, in essence, they change it up sometimes.
I always wondered about that because, football is almost always on the Sunday. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but racing, if you go back to the roots of racing, Chief could talk to this because he's always out there Saturday night at the dirt track. They don't do Sunday afternoon racing. That was a NASCAR thing, was moving it to Sunday afternoons. But most of your local tracks at Saturday night racing, and that's the roots of NASCAR.
Gotcha. 888-368-1580. That's the Summit Mail Medical text line, and that's the roots of the Daily Blender. Just a Tip says, I'm not going to steal the thunder from Big George's this day in sports history, but to me, 2 of the greatest accomplishments in sports occurred today. Well, I'm only doing one of those. So after I do that later on in the program, Just a Tip, you tell me if I got the right one and fill us in if I have missed one. He says, thanks for your work there, Big George, and congratulations on your wedding. Okay, so you know what I always wonder? What would I do if I was really, really stinking rich? Own a team rich.
Yeah.
Dr. Patrick Soon Xiong is a founder of the Immunity Bio company, and he's also a Lakers co-owner. I don't know how much of the Lakers he owns, but you got to be super duper damn rich to say, oh, so to get the vaccine, we have to take a shot. Well, yeah, that's how vaccines generally work. That's the way they're best effective. I really don't like needles because I don't like needles. I'm going to come up with a pill. That's right. He is so rich and he doesn't like needles. He says, you know what? I'm going to pay for them to figure out how to get us some pills for this instead. And actually, it's not a bad idea. If you can have pills as a vaccine, then you don't have to worry about keeping them cold or what would happen. And they probably last longer and be easier to distribute to a mass population. But it all comes down to this. Man don't like needles. And he's got so much damn money, he's going to develop his own oral COVID-19 vaccine.
Nothing wrong with that.
Or he just said he likes oral. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly how it went.
The wires got crossed.
But I do know the man don't like needles, and that's why this is happening. That and Immunity Bio make a crap ton of money if they are successful at that. So can you imagine being so rich, you don't like something, and you're like, you know what? We're going to invent something because I don't like it.
Wow.
What would you invent, Randy, if you were super duper that rich and you could say, this is bugging me. So I'm going to pour a lot of money and research into developing that.
Something I could change.
Not Phil.
No, I wasn't going to say
Oh,
Phil.
yeah, I just wanted to make sure I was out there before you tried to do something to Phil.
Boy, I don't know, Jeffrey. I can't think of anything that I dislike. Maybe some sort of instead of going to the dentist, some sort of dentist cleaning device,
like a mouth guard you put in. It's like a
It's like
robot dentist.
Yeah,
the
it kinda
nanobites
cleans.
clean your
Yeah,
teeth.
yeah.
They repair any issues.
Yeah, there you go.
It's
Well,
like you root canal while you sleep kind of
Well,
thing.
yeah, I don't know where you could do that, but I would come
Hey.
up with some sort of device to do, your regular checkups. I mean, think about how much time it would save you.
Sure.
Just have this device, hook it up, and bam, your teeth are
Yeah.
clean.
You could just sit in traffic with her finger in her mouth.
There
and
you
just
go.
Be like listening to podcasts on your way to work.
Right,
And then
right. There you go.
you show up all done.
And
How
you're
about
not-
you, Phil?
You're not cussing out the other drivers.
Oh, I'll still do that.
I'd go with the pod system. Go underneath, go underground, and have these super speedy highways that you get on a train, and then you can go from one coast to coast in like 4 hours.
That's not interesting.
Yes, it is.
No.
You would if you can go to like New York right now.
Randy does
in 4
not like
hours.
the dentist, so he decided
Mm.
to come up with a
I hate
painless
traffic.
robot dentist to put in his mouth.
Yeah.
I hate traffic. I hate. Well, I
Okay, if
actually
you
kind
were
of
this
enjoy
kind of guy, Rich, you should be working on a transporter like they have on Star Trek.
There you go.
it. Oh, well, there
You
you
gotta
go.
be
You
creative,
got to
Phil.
think outside the box, Phil.
Okay.
So, like, if you have unlimited resources and you
Unlimited.
hate traffic, and maybe you're not a flyer, what would you come up with?
What
that
about
would,
the ultimate snow plow? But just whenever I wanted to just plow through traffic, just boom.
Huh.
All the cars.
Yeah.
no,
out
you
the
got to.
way.
No.
That's not fair to
A
everybody
hovering
else.
car? What about that? A
Well, that-
hovering
no,
car?
that
Here's
might
the
work.
thing.
No, that
When
might work.
Randy and I were kids, we were
Yeah.
promised flying cars.
Yeah.
We never got the damn flying
Yeah,
cars,
yeah.
and we've been very upset about that for many, many years.
Yeah.
But then when you think about flying cars as a grown-up, what does that make you like? Oh crap! Now I got to worry about somebody texting and flying
Yeah,
and bumping
yeah.
into me in traffic,
Yeah.
and then if I get in an accident, I'm going to plummet to my death. The whole concept of like 4 million people in the metro area suddenly being levitated and
Mhm.
crashing into each
Yeah,
other,
yeah.
maybe not the right idea.
We're probably moving towards Minority Report, where everything's on a track system, and
Right.
then everybody's just, you lay down into a
So
pod,
for anybody
and then you go
listening,
to
Phil's not
work.
being racist when he says Minority Report. It's actually the name of a Tom Cruise movie.
Yeah.
It is set in the future, and the cars all just drive themselves, and that's what that is.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
don't think Phil said something he shouldn't. Don't
No.
cancel us.
Yeah.
You know what though? That's no fun. Even okay, if we want to talk about another movie from that same sort of vein, you got Will Smith and iRobot. And they had all the
Yeah.
self-driving vehicles, but he also would turn it to manual mode because that was just a whole lot more damn fun.
Mm.
I ain't getting into no damn car that I can't control if I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
agreed. Now, whenever they have those driverless cars, though, aren't you going to be happy that those are available?
No.
Because,
No.
what?
You know when I'll care about that? When I'm 90 and I need to get to some place and I don't want to bother anybody. I'll just get in there like, all right, car, take me there, you son of a bitch. And then,
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
always be abusive to technology. Just be ready for that. Then maybe once I've lost the ability to drive, self-drive me. I don't care. I don't care what happens after that.
But I'm happy.
But now, no, I want to control it. I want the
Well,
fun
I'm
of
not
it.
saying for us. I'm just saying, think of everybody who's on their phone and all this stuff. I think that there are people who would be better drivers if they weren't driving at all.
Mm.
So here's
Think
what's
about it.
happening with
Think
Tesla
about
right
that.
now.
Yeah.
So Tesla has the self-driving capability. Tesla has also a lot of privacy invasions. There are cameras on the inside of the car that are constantly recording you, and Tesla constantly has access to those things. Now they say, well, we don't just watch them and monitor them. We're not creepy or nothing. We're just watching for driver reaction and eye motion we're trying to improve the driverless function, but we're also trying to improve the ability to know when a driver is distracted. Guess what, though? You can't turn it off. So guess what? We ain't getting a Tesla, you sons of bitches. We know what you're up to. And I don't want my privacy invaded unless I can hit a button that says opt out. And then, even then, how many times have we said we have opted out, but then Vizio TV or Samsung or this or that says, yeah, we were recording all along. Amazon records. your Alexa if you don't do certain things, and they'll monitor it. They'll listen to it. They'll say, well, we're listening for quality control and we're trying to do. Listen, I don't think that everybody on the planet is being nefarious and trying to listen to me fart, but some of them are.
I know
It's
am.
the principle of the matter. It's the principle of the matter. So when it comes to these driverless damn cars, not until I have more control over it, or not at all.
Well, I could see that. Yeah.
You know what?
Phil, your idea is horrible.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
You know what? For a
for
guy
you,
who
that's
hates
a compliment.
traffic, here's what you need. You need a cannon that will shoot you through the air to work and then perfectly land you in like a gel, like a bubble thing.
Oh, in a
You're in a
bubble.
capsule.
Okay.
You're in a capsule.
Okay.
And you get shot like a capsule
Oh, this
bullet,
would be even
and
better.
It lands
Wait.
in like a
Yeah.
bloop,
Yeah.
and then there it is.
Yeah, this would be even better. Okay, I just came out. When you go to the bank and they got those sucky tubes. Yeah. So you get human-sized sucky tubes all
They're
over
called
the place.
They're called pneumatic tubes.
Yeah, there's sucky tubes
like
everywhere.
Futurama.
Yeah, and then you get in your capsule and you go in there and you hit the button. It goes, and then you're gone, and you're shooting all over instantaneously. And then you're like,
I'm usually shooting all over instantaneously.
Or we just get transporters like they have in Star Trek. That might be easier.
Yes.
Yeah,
See,
I can see that. Yeah.
Phil, if he ever becomes rich, we will have to guide him. It's just the way it is.
Yes.
All right. So right now, another way to guide Phil would be to share with you guys another couple of tidbits from the upcoming Manstitution of the United States of these Americas. That's right. It's time for some man law. Article 6, fighting. There's not a whole lot in that article of fighting, but there are a few things you do need to know. Section 1, a man shall not kick another man in the nuts unless the situation is dire.
Yes.
Section 2, a man shall not fight naked unless you're in prison and you get jumped in the shower. There's nothing you can do about that. All right. But see, I go back to number 1 and
see, that's funny because I want to stick to number 2.
What is the direness, level? That it would make it acceptable to kick a man in the giblets. You know what I mean?
Now, when you say man, are you talking about your friend or are you just talking about any man in general? Okay.
So let's say you're in a fight. He's like, man, I'm starting to lose. Is it right for you? Is that the dire situation? You're about to lose the fight. So you kick somebody to the nards.
Yeah.
Is that right? I don't know that it is.
Yeah, I think it is.
Life or death.
Yeah.
Life or death. That's the only instance.
Yeah.
Well, if you're in a good fist fight, you may in your head think it's life or death.
No, but that
You
there's a
don't
difference
know.
between a bar fight in the back and then you pulling a Batman parents thing where you go in the back and then somebody's holding you up and you got to be in front of your lady and it's a little scary.
Which Batman movie are you talking about?
Every single one.
Where
Where the
dude
parents
just
die.
jumps him in the street and shoots him.
Yeah.
I don't remember this holding in the back in the restaurant. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying they go in the back of the theater or a restaurant, whatever alleyway there is there, and they hold them up.
Hey, Bruce Wayne's parents were horrible parents, by the way.
Oh,
What
yeah.
dumbasses were they? I'm a billionaire and I can fund this entire city, and we've got the subways working, and everybody is very happy. But I'm going to walk in a dark damn alley. Idiot. Anyway, where was I? All right, man law. So where is the level then? Where is the dire situation level? Where is the boundary on that?
Life or death or Die Hard. If
Well,
you're
it's
in one of those
very-
3 scenarios.
Very vague terms, though. You see what I'm saying? What may be to you may not be to someone else. So this makes this one a little more tricky.
Yeah.
Okay, what about this? What about this? If somebody has a weapon on you, that's the exception.
Fair
And-
enough.
And you don't. You don't
That's a
have a weapon.
dire. That's a dire situation.
Yeah.
If somebody's got a knife or a gun and you're trying to survive the situation, that's good. What else? There's got to be some other things.
What
like
about,
if you're outnumbered,
right?
Well, then, all bets are off.
sure, that's
Yeah.
dire.
Yeah.
What if people make fun of you for leaving the bandwagon of the Suns? Can you start kicking then?
No, you can.
No.
You can start kicking a guy if he bandwagons. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Boy, I don't know, Jeff.
You see what I'm talking about?
yeah,
It's not as clear
if,
cut a man law. We got to
Well,
be careful.
if he's beating up on a kid or something, and the only way to get him off that child or a woman or
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
right in the cha-cha bongos.
Sure. Lacrosse
Yeah.
guy says, yeah, protecting your family. Watermelon thinks, yes, if you're losing a fight, playing around with your buddy, no.
No, that's never good.
See, listen, I don't want to have to establish the manly Supreme Court where these articles will be called into question later on. I want to get this right now.
Yeah,
so
I can see why.
now, at least, Phil, that was helpful. What you said, Randy, that was helpful. What you said. This will help me try to put some exception on this to help better mold this. So that's another reason I'm sharing these man laws with you guys every day.
I'm far more interested in number 2.
Well, I'm interested in this break. So we'll be back after this.
From the Augusta National Golf Club, Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the Masters. I'm Ted Emmerich. Dustin Johnson never pushed his first round out of first gear. He opened with a bogey, closed with a double bogey at 2 over 74. Did Johnson feel any extra pressure as defending champion?
No additional pressure. If anything, I'm a little more relaxed out there. But today, like I said, I just played tough. I felt like I played pretty well too, or got it around pretty well. Obviously, the last hole kind of stings a little bit, but go to the range, hit a few balls, and I feel like I'm swinging well, playing good. So, looking forward to the rest of the week.
Well, he's looking way up at the leaderboard at Justin Rose, who fired a magnificent 7 under 65. DJ is 9 shots off the pace. You're listening to coverage of the 2021 Masters on Westwood One.
If I'm not commuting anymore, where do I really want to live?
While you handle life's questions, Merrill Guided Investing helps you manage your portfolio and invest for your next move with the option to work with an advisor at a low cost and minimum. Merrill, a Bank of America company. Visit merrilledge.com/investing goals to get started today.
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated, Baltimore Registered Broker-Dealer, and investment advisor, member SIPC. Investment products are not FDIC insured or not bank guaranteed and may lose value.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
About an hour from sunset at Augusta National, the first round almost done, and you don't win the green jacket after 18 holes, but Justin Rose looks awfully good with a 7 under 65 as most struggled to stay near level par today. Rose played the last 11 holes in 9 under. Brian Harman and Hideki Matsuyama tied for second, 3 under, 4 back. At 2 under par, Will Zalatoris, the Masters rookie, Webb Simpson, Christian Bezuidenhout, and Patrick Reed, the Masters champion from 3 years ago. Jordan Spieth pitches in for eagle at 15, so he has made up all the ground he lost with a triple bogey at 9. Spieth back to 1 under and 6 shots back, along with Siwoo Kim, Jason Kokrak, Shane Lowry, and Tyrrell Hatton. If this course didn't play as a par 67 for Bryson DeChambeau in November, like he said it would, it certainly won't now that it has its teeth back. 5 over through 14. That is 12 shots off the pace. Phil Mickelson, 3 over par 75. From Augusta, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
Live from the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
This is KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240 U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM. All right, people, settle down because it's time.
For what?
Showtime. When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Filthy Phil there in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale, and you guys are on the Summit Mail Medical text line, 888-368-1580. So were you listening to that Masters update there just a second ago?
Oh, yeah.
I had scheduled us for this point in the show to talk about the Masters. And unfortunately, you weren't here yesterday, so we didn't do our predictions. But in light of that, I'd like to predict Rose will win the Masters. I'm going to say it's always been on my sheet.
Yeah. I'm
All
sure.
right, that's not true. That's not true.
You can take Rose if you like. Oddly enough, not recently. I can't think of anybody that's been a wire-to-wire leader who ended up winning the Masters. So generally, these guys are very competitive. The course is very competitive. So it's very hard to do wire to wire. I don't know if Tiger even did it. I can't remember now if Tiger was wire to wire leader and winner.
What I'm showing you here is the sheet that I put together this morning before play started.
Yeah.
I took John Rahm only because I know he's from ASU. That's all I care about.
And that's a good one there. I got Xander Schauffele. Yep.
He
Xander
was my guy
Schauffele.
last year, Schauffele.
And I think he's
Phil,
currently tied for 10th.
Who did you have?
I had Dustin Johnson. Oh,
DJ.
Yeah.
Defending champion.
Chasing the chalk, going with the 9-1 odds on that. By the way, this Rose, what's his
Justin Rhodes.
Justin Rose.
Oh, Rhodes. I thought they said Rose.
No, it's Rose. I'm sorry.
Well, there's a Justin Rose that's 70-1. Is that
Justin Rose is your guy?
Yeah, he was way down on the list there. I wish Si-Woo Kim was the better golfer because I like to say Si-Woo more often if I could.
Yeah.
But whatever. I like Randy says, I'm sure this won't stay this way for long. The weather they are worried about at Augusta. They're worried that some thunderstorms, some wind could push through. So today, no problem. It's just been mostly cloudy, but they're saying there'll be scattered thunderstorms tomorrow with a 56% chance of rain. And then Saturday, some afternoon thunderstorms, and then Sunday, partly cloudy. I wouldn't be surprised if everything gets jacked up tomorrow and you see them finish the Masters on Monday.
Well, it would have to be. They would have to really suspend it. Most of these guys will play as long as there's no lightning, and the rains aren't so heavy you can't see. Generally, these guys will play if it's raining and there's some wind. That doesn't bother them. They will carry on like troopers, man.
Well, we will see what Mother Nature does, and we will see what the 2021 Masters do as far as the golf happens. So we'll, of course, be tuning in for the updates throughout the day, today, tomorrow, the next day, the day after that. All the Masters updates at least a couple times an hour here on 1580 The Fanatic. So, yes, in the last hour, we were discussing a couple of different things. One, if you had Laker co-owner kind of money, what sort of new innovations would you pour a bunch of your money into? Because that guy for the Lakers is afraid of needles. So he's like, hey, how about we come up with a vaccine in a pill form, huh? Yeah, all right. I'll put my own money in. So what would you put your own money into? And some of the people on the text line are still answering that question. And also, we are still examining this man law, Section 1 and Article 6 fighting. A man shall not kick another man in the nuts unless the situation is dire. Now, we may need to show a tolerance line for dire because dire is very subjective to the person. So we need to figure out, okay, where is it acceptable? Where is it not acceptable? And I don't know, now what was just one sentence man law could turn into paragraphs. And that worries me a little bit. Helabin Mike says, as soon as some a-hole threatens to kick your ass, you get to kick him in the nuts instantly. In the threat, no violation.
Whoa.
Well, Helabin Mike is not a man to be trifled
at
with.
the mere mention of, hey, you know what? You look a little
He also says, if I was super rich, I would have a ray gun invented that would unstick people from being stupid.
Wow.
I would make them instantly intellectual. Wow. That's
how much battery power you got on that thing?
Amazing idea. So here's what you do, Helabin Mike. If you actually are able to develop that technology, you get it up to the Hubble telescope, turn that thing towards Earth, and just every time the Earth turns, fire, fire. And then, maybe with a lot of us being a little smarter, we could do away with racism. We could do away with, cruelty. We could do away with Phil leaving the Suns and going to the Lakers. So, I mean, I love your idea.
We could do away with Phil always wanting to hand out Speedos.
Yes, that I think would also be an instant
no gun
change.
powerful enough. Not even love has the power to do that.
Just Tip says, I'll never use Alexa or any other type of device like that. Not only do those companies track you, but there is new technology available for thieves to drive by your house and monitor your usage so they know when you're home or not. Wow, that is scary, actually. Yeah. Prison Wallet says, I fight to win. Nuts are on the table.
Jeez.
Phrasing. I want to phrase that. He says, what we fight about should be the subject of man law. Oh, what we fight about.
Yeah.
What is acceptable for a fight? What is not acceptable for a fight? Wow. See, that's also subjective. So again, we got to be careful with these. And now that, you know what, Randy? All this talk, this is going to create work. And what I mean is I'm the Southwest Regional Man Card Commissioner.
Yes.
And I think with my coming up with the Manstitution of the United States of America,
yes,
that makes me absolutely the front runner to replace Chuck Norris when the time comes.
No kidding. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in his 70s. He'll probably live to 130 or 140.
Yeah.
But I am the heir apparent to the entire country as Man Card Ultimate Commissioner. But right now, I'm just the Southwest Regional Man Card
Yeah,
Commissioner.
I could see that. All right.
What I worry about here is, say, when we have a man law that needs to be interpreted, that means there has to be a Supreme Court of man law. That means there has to be Supreme Court justices for man law, which means you'd have to convene every single regional man card commissioner from across the United States. And that could actually lower my chances for succeeding
if you're
Chuck
a chief,
Norris.
If you're a chief justice on the Supreme
Right.
Court.
No, because everybody's gonna be mad that I made more work, and they're gonna be like, "You don't deserve to run this. You just made us all have to take weekends off."
Yeah,
See,
they would cause an outrage. Yes.
I see. I tend to look at it in a more positive light. I think that it will strengthen your resume to take over because you came up with it, and nobody has had the cojones to do it until now. That's what I want to say. I think Jeffrey O'Brien is way ahead of his time, and he's an organizer, and he is a man among men.
But nobody wants to be forced into extra work, and that would make me that guy, though.
Is it though?
Yes,
Is
we
it
need
extra
this
work?
document. We need this document, but it could be pushing others to have to work harder. I don't know if I want. I mean, we're going to do this. I hope it just doesn't backfire on me. But yes, we may need to convene the manly Supreme Court of the United States.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I understand. But I think it strengthens your resume.
Navy Brad says, no need to read this. Okay. 888-368-1580.
Thanks for the text.
And Navy Brad, chin up, buddy. We love you. You're a good guy. Hang in there, man. We've all been there. We've all been there.
Where are we
Large
getting to the
Marge.
naked man in the room?
Sorry, what?
What?
Oh, okay. Well, finally.
Oh, Phil wants to talk about naked wrestling.
Oh, man. Let me finish with these before we get weird. Large Marge says, what if he shows them to you? Yeah, then you can kick him. Just the Tip says, if you're threatening my girlfriend or kids, you're getting kicked in the nuts, period. If you're cheating in a fight, here comes my size 12 right in your onions. If I'm fighting a friend, I'll never kick that area on you unless you, kick that zip code on me first.
Yeah.
I'd rather, though, throw you off a balcony, though, at any event.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So you'd throw a friend off a balcony before you'd kick him right in the junk.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, that seems fair. That's my, no, that's actually, I'm Irish.
Well,
we fight.
How high is this balcony?
Can't be that high.
2
Can't be that high.
stories?
Or he'd be up on charges.
Maybe they land through a table.
Oh,
We never
Buffalo Bills.
We never accounted for that.
Kyle G says it's also easier to get kids to take a tablet than it is to take a shot. So it's important, given that COVID keeps creeping down the age brackets. Yes, a lot of younger kids are getting sick lately. As a dad of 2 kids, that actually would make my day. Yeah, I agree. Any way you can help, I'm happy with. I'm not criticizing the guy from Lakers. I just wish I was rich enough that some little thing bothered me and I could fund it being fixed. How good would that be? Kyle G also says, Jeffrey, I would define dire as potential loss of life or limb. How often do we got to worry about losing limbs?
Well, if the guy's got a machete.
Oh, see, that's automatic. They got a weapon.
Yeah,
but the weapon.
Yes.
If the guy's got a shotgun and it's close quarters.
King of Kenton says, hey, guys, sup.
Yeah,
Fleetwood Mac hit a hole-in-one on a par 3 at the Masters today. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was 16th. It shocked him. He got an ace on the 16th.
Fish Tank says, have you seen the video of Noah Syndergaard trying to watch the Mets, but it's blacked out so he can't watch his own team? How is that possible? Well, DirecTV or whoever.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always people fighting. Box of Screws says, if I had enough money, I'd pay Jeffrey to move the fantasy football league to Yahoo instead of that garbage NFL app. Okay, Box of Screws, we just did the ESPN and we hated it. So we're going back to the NFL. I have tried Yahoo before. I don't care for it. I really don't. I mean, we were on NFL for years. It went well. Some parts of it can be a little annoying, but for the most part, that's the for our money, the best fantasy football app. Unless CBS does one, I'd be willing to try theirs. We had a pretty good time with the CBS bracket app.
They do have one.
Should we try it? Does anybody complain about it?
I'm not that far into it. I usually go off of ESPN myself. So
you know why I like the NFL? Because I feel like they get all the stats pipeline straight to them quicker. I think your response time on seeing your points show up on game day has to be quicker with them because they're getting the information direct.
No, they all
don't disagree with me, Phil.
Well, it's going into the weeds, but all the fantasy apps, they don't have any place, so they all outsource to the same place. And they all get their stats updated simultaneously.
Once, just say, yeah, it sounds like a good idea. Why can't you just once? Boomer Sooner says, blood pressure, Randy. Against the spread says, yo, fellas, I heard the terrible story about that NFL player.
Yeah. Let's not go there.
Really don't want to go down that driveway. That's, but yeah, the question is why? Was it CTE? A lot of people say that CTE had a lot to do with Aaron Hernandez. A lot of people say CTE has a lot to do with Antonio Brown. There is a point where your personal responsibility overcomes whatever it is that might happen. You're responsible for you no matter what. It ends up being an explanation, but it never ends up being an excuse. So in that situation, all you can do is kind of step back and just, it's horrible, it's sad, and just hope it doesn't happen again. And hope that people do work towards making sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
Like if it is CTE, if that's the explanation, then maybe, we do more on that. President Wallet says, you kick a man's ass when he asks you to. Okay, easy. Just calm down, President Wallet. We get it. Yeah, we get it. Helaman Mike says, if you say your mom in a disparaging manner, it's on. Jeffco is a master at skirting this line. Okay, well, here's the thing. I went back to the Constitution. I did not change it. I did not add the part where you can say your mom, in the funny ways that we were doing. And the reason I still stand by that, there was no actual insult. It was all just absurdity because, hey, who's the best running back? Your mom. And it was just silliness. It wasn't actually an insult towards anybody's mom. But enough people seem sensitive about that I have decided not to change the man law. It will stand as is, that you just don't do that.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay.
So there. So if I do it, I guess I'm violating man law. So I won't do it.
Wow.
But you know who will
corruption.
do it.
Wow.
You
Talk
know who
about
will do it.
corruption
You know who will do it.
at the highest levels.
Your mom. Chief Skull's burner phone says, Jeffrey,
where's my button, man?
I think as the man card commissioner, you are first and foremost authority on the fact that Phil is not fully an accredited man card holder due to his Speedo affinity. You know what? I can't sanction somebody for Speedos because there's a lot of old greasy sunbathed people all over beaches all over this world who just show up and we're all oh god. But I can't say it's a man card violation. I can't even say it's not manly. It's just gross. So really that's a gross thing, the Speedo. Just a Tip says standard 2-story house. Yeah, it's still probably not the best thing to do to your buddy, but as long as he rolled on the grass, I'm sure he'd be okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you throw him over in a gravel parking lot, no. If you throw him over on the pool deck, no. If you throw him in the grass, okay, yes.
Yes, I did that to a friend once. My friend, who I mention every now and then, my childhood friend Jeff Funicello, we used to.
Oh, that's right, Annette's little brother.
Yeah, actually, he was related. We would beat the hell out of each other and we would spar. And that was the guy I ran over with an ATV twice.
Nice.
And we would joust in the backyard. We had our own American gladiators set up in the backyard with bales of hay. We would do trampoline boxing where you couldn't hit the other guy unless you were in midair, which made it really hard because you had no leverage. And I can't remember what it was. Well, we went up on the roof because we were getting some like a frisbee or something, and he said the wrong thing to me, and I'm like, "Oh, really?" And I ran him off the roof like Kevin Costner ran that guy off the roof in The Untouchables.
Wow!
But it wasn't that high up; it was just right into the grass. Any place else, he might have been injured. But we laughed and laughed about that. And then it got to a point where we kept throwing each other off the roof because it was fun.
Yeah, my dad kept, he had to throw me and a buddy of mine off the roof because we had got a bunch of boxes that we collected and we set them up and we were doing stuntman dives off the roof.
Oh, that's awesome. How old were you?
So, oh man, maybe 10.
That's
11.
about right.
Yeah. And
Phil,
so,
have you ever
yeah.
done anything as fun as the things we have just mentioned?
No, I have never come that close to. Oh, you know what? I did tear some ligaments going down a hill up in the cabin up in the woods. I went down a scooter down one of those hills because all the cabins are all on an angle up there.
Yeah.
And I went down looking for my friend's dog who owned the cabin, and I'm looking both ways, and all of a sudden
Dog
I realized
owned the cabin?
Yeah,
That's
the
amazing.
dog owned the cabin?
no,
That's the
friend.
best part of the story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. No, the
What
friend.
the hell does that dog do to be able to afford a cabin?
Well, yeah, he doesn't talk.
Part owner of the Lakers.
Right. Obviously.
And I'm looking both ways for this dog, and then all of a sudden I realized that I'm getting speed. I'm starting to swerve. I'm trying to do anything to de-escalate my speed. Can't
That's
find it.
respectable.
And I tried to put down the back. There's a brake, but then I realized it's one of those spark scooters. So I'm like sparking down the way. And
Oh,
so
that's awesome.
I know
Yeah.
I'm smart.
Yeah.
I look like an American dream is what I do. And so
There
all of
we
a sudden I'm
go.
like, well, I don't want to eventually just fall off this thing because of a rock. So I put my foot down. I go flying, and a couple emergency visits later, tore
Wow.
like my whole left side.
Wow.
That was your biggest mistake. If you're at that speed and you're feeling out of control, you write it out.
Yeah.
For just chance, you might be able to recover when things
Yeah.
even out.
You can't bail until it's absolutely necessary to bail.
You know what's funny, Randy? I never went to the ER. You never went to the ER.
Well, I did.
Were we tougher, or was it just the fact that we didn't know we were really hurt?
I did go to the ER one time. My dad had taken down a bunch of the, remember that lattice stuff, that white lattice, that wood. And
Sure.
so he had taken it down and I was chopping it up and my buddy was over there. Again, I was probably about 11. And so we started throwing pieces at each other, and so I picked one up and threw it at him. Well, there was a nail that was in there, and it went right into my forefinger and came out the other side of the forefinger. Yeah. So I went to the ER for that because I had to get the tetanus shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun being kids when we were kids.
Oh yeah.
All they do now is just this. It's just this all the time.
Yeah.
Just this all the time. They don't go out and do these
Yeah.
things, these
Yeah.
crazy things we used to do.
Remember when we used to try who can ride the longest Papa Wheelie down the street?
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
that?
Yeah.
So my buddy, same buddy that I threw off the roof and we were doing stuntman. Yeah, same guy. He loosened my front tire on my bike. So he loosened it just enough so I get going, and I
Yeah.
lifted up, and just as I got it up there and got balanced, the front tire came off, and I'm like, what do I do now? Well, little did I know, I should have just decelerated and then walked it off the back. I was
Right.
too inexperienced here. I set it down. The fork stuck in. I went over it. Yeah. This finger here tore the tip off this finger right here.
Oh God.
Yeah. That one, ER for that one.
Sounds like a
You
good
know,
way to tan your hide over there.
Yeah.
I know we're late for break, but I'm going to tell this one because it's a slightly similar, different outcome, Randy.
Yeah.
I was bored one day and I had this little BMX kind of bike, the ones with the shock
Oh, yeah.
absorber
Yeah.
that did absolutely nothing.
Yeah. The mono shop.
And I had just fixed my my tire, and this was over at Lindsay and north of Baseline,
Okay.
north of where the freeway was.
Yeah.
And that's where this, whatever that Christian church, that giant church is now, but they
Yeah.
had not built it yet. And they have these mounds of dirt out there. I think I was like 14, 15.
Mhm.
And so I'm like, ooh, dirt mounds. I'm going to do me some jumps. So I go out there and I start jumping. And I guess I didn't tighten my tire enough.
Oops.
And as I went up a jump, the wheel went right off. And I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah. This is not going to
And-
end well.
But luckily, the fork went down into a soft dirt pile. My bike was fine. I, however,
Yeah.
flew
Oh, yeah.
end over end into another dirt pile. And I heard the cars on Lindsay Road honking, and people were like, yeah. So I got up and I kind of went like this for them. So, and as I was like, I think I should go to a doctor, but I can't tell my mom this happened. So I guess I'll go home. True story. All right, we got to take a break, and we come back. We'll finish up on the text line. I want to let you guys have your say, but we got to get back to sports. We got to get talking some NFL. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
From the Augusta National Golf Club, Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the Masters. I'm Ted Emmerich. Jordan Spieth taking patrons on a ride in the first round. He was 1 under through 8, then a triple bogey at 9 that included him doinking a shot off a tree, but a birdie at 10. And at the par 5 15th, Spieth was off the green with his third shot.
Uphill lie, pitches it just over the fringe out to the left, checking a little bit, now working down the slope. Jordan moving left towards the hole, up to the cup and in. Wow. A hole out eagle here at 15, but behind the green for Jordan Spieth. Now in red numbers at 1 under par. Wow.
A double wow for Mark Carnevale on Sirius XM. Spieth, the Masters champ from 2015, is 1 under. Staring up at Justin Rose along with everyone else. Rose 7 under with a 65 today. You're listening to coverage of the 2021 Masters on Westwood One.
What do you get when you talk to a Dell Technologies advisor? You get someone who understands there's an art to listening, who's able to hear more than what's being said, and can provide tailored small business solutions that make you feel truly heard.
I understand. Let's get started.
For advice on everything from laptops to the cloud and solutions powered by Intel vPro platform, call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL.
Oh, come on! 4! There it is. In golf, the right adjustments can make all the difference. We feel the same way about financial planning. With Fidelity Wealth Management, your dedicated advisor will work with you to create a personalized plan for your full financial picture. And as your needs change, they'll help you make adjustments so you can stay on target. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC.
Long shadows across the greens at Augusta with the sun starting to descend. Let's check this first round leaderboard. It's sponsored by Dell. For your small business needs, call a Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. Justin Rose signing for a 7 under 65. Somehow he was 2 over through 7 holes. And yet Rose now 4 shots clear of the field. Brian Harman and Hideki Matsuyama both at 3 under with 69s. Will Zalatoris playing the first Masters round of his career with a 2 under 70. That's 5 back, along with Webb Simpson, Christian Bezuidenhout, and Patrick Reed. Siwoo Kim, Jason Kokrak, Shane Lowry, Tyrrell Hatton, and Jordan Spieth all at 1 under. Spieth following his eagle at 15 with pars at 16 and 17. Defending champion and world number 1, Dustin Johnson, with a double at 18. A sour end to his first round at 2 over 74. Bryson DeChambeau, 4 over 76. That's 11 back. From Augusta, I'm Ted Emmerich, West.
Your exclusive home for the NFL and Super Bowl 56. Super Bowl 56. 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. And on Saturday, you got the Blue Emu 400, 500?
500.
Thank you. And that's, what time is that happening? I already forgot.
It's Saturday night, about 5:30 Saturday night.
Oh, okay. I think the broadcast may start a little bit earlier than that, but I don't have my paper in front of me, so I don't know. 888-368-1580. And okay, we're going to finish up your text on the text line, but then we got to start talking some NFL quarterbacks. I got a whole bunch of stuff here. It's all about the quarterbacks. Fed Fan says a lot. She said, I just got done riding my stationary bike for an hour. I was watching the Masters and I was listening to you guys. Now I'm hungry and I'm going to go fix me some tacos.
Tacos.
Wow.
Sounds good. Taco Thursday, taco any day. She says in grade school, I made angel wings and I climbed to the top of our roof and I jumped into the pool. Needless to say, I'm not very good at making angel wings because gravity won. Yeah, that gravity always wins. 2 things always win: gravity and water. She says, I also made my own skateboard with a block of wood and some old roller skates. Didn't win that contest either. Thank God for the grass in the front yard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember we used to make our own stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I wish I had a busted old lawnmower so I could make a cool go-kart.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I cut my hand with my dad's old saw. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ukla the Mock says, hey, Randy.
What's up, Ukla?
That's all he said. Skoll says Vikings are going to the Super Bowl.
Of course.
Kyle G says, I've only been to the ER twice. Once when I was 7 and I cut my thumb all the way down to the bone. And when I was 16 and I took a pitch to the eye. I learned knife safety and never drop the barrel when you're bunting. Two different
Very good
situations, but good advice.
Got to keep that barrel up, man.
And never cut towards yourself with knife safety.
Helibin Mike says, in my late teens and early 20s, I raced a Yamaha YZ250 in the Desert Series here. And man, there is no kind of rush that matches. Holy crap, I could have killed myself just then.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely right. Large Marge says, Phil tells stories just like Gaylord Fokker. Hey, Phil, I got nipples. Can you milk me? Do you know that's from a movie, right? That's,
yes.
Yeah. He also says, hey, if I had Laker co-owner kind of money, I'd invent a beer mug that was always cold. Yeah, I think they have those. Don't they?
They have
an invention.
Yeah, they have them that you can put in the freezer.
Well, that's not. No, he's saying just sitting around. It's always cold. You're watching sports. You got your beer mug right there, and you're drinking out of it, and it's always cold.
Yeah.
If I tell you what, Large Marge, if I were Laker co-owner money rich, I would fund that. That's huge. Prison Wallet says, I've had to impose my will on a couple of men in my adult life. 2 women beaters and a racist drunken a-hole who didn't understand another man's wife is off limits. Yeah. Well, good on you, man. He says, Jeffrey, there is hope. Black Mountain BMX racetrack is still very popular with the kids. Oh, that's good to hear. Navy Brad says, thanks, guys. You put a smile on my face. Thanks for being there. Well, thank you for being there, Navy Brad. The thanks is in your direction first. And whatever is going on in your life, we're at least always here for this. And
absolutely,
we got your back, buddy. Baker's Cocky Him says, my son fell off his bike, broke his right wrist. 3 weeks later, decides to ride again while still in a cast, and he broke his other wrist.
Oh boy!
Yeah, both casts, arms, both arms and casts up to his elbows. We ended up with a bidet because of that.
Wow. Nice. Well done.
That's a dad who is not wiping that kid's butt no more.
That's right.
That's amazing. Box of Screws says, I'm just an advocate for Yahoo Fantasy Football because of the chat feature. Makes trades easier to facilitate without having to chase down phone numbers and contact info. So,
yeah, honestly, that is the most annoying thing in fantasy is when you have to track down somebody. And worst of all, you do that and they never respond. Right. I'll take a no any day. And you say, even you saying that's disrespectful, whatever it is.
To be honest, though, most people don't trade. Nobody trades.
What
Nobody
is that?
trades.
Are you
because I don't want to trade. I don't want you to have what you want. I don't want to.
You are petty.
That's the way our league is, man.
Yeah, well, no, the person who is initiating the trade never has your best interest at heart. And then it's like, aha, weakness. Die with that, Phil. Die with it. You're gonna have fun in our league.
Yeah.
Box Screw says, Phil, personally, I think the best tight end is your mom.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Now, see, that's right there. That's the man card. That right there, that goes against the man law.
Yeah. You know what, though? Hold on. See, if he'd said any other position, you're right. He'd have been fine. But that's off limits. You should.
Well, I don't know. Wide receiver. Right? That would be.
Well, now you've made it weird. Bala 51 says CBS is the best, but that costs money. Well, guess we're sticking with NFL.com then.
Yeah,
he says I used it for 2 leagues. For 22 and 20 years, and it is good. Well, I'm not expecting anybody to pay for it. Well, how many people have to pay for it? If I paid for the league and everybody else got in for free, well, we have like 8 to 10 leagues, though, don't we? Never mind.
Yeah.
NFL.com, here we come. First Cav Mike says, if I were Laker owner Rich, I'd put my money into Irish whiskey that you got you a ripped body and you look great. It's like working out, but you're drinking whiskey.
Oh my gosh, this is revolutionary. I would make cheese and pasta negative calorie foods.
No, shut up, Phil. We're talking whiskey. First Cav Mike, if I had the money, I would fund yours, and then I would also fund Phil on a plane ticket to Guam, and we'd never see him again after that macaroni and cheese suggestion. We're talking whiskey here, Phil.
I'm saying all pasta. You don't love pasta?
Sure, I love pasta.
All pasta is no longer unhealthy for you. Just eat as much as you want, and you're going to get a six-pack by the end of the day. No, we don't.
They have like special grain pasta,
but it doesn't taste the same. It needs to be. It needs to be like negative pasta, like celery pasta, but tastes exactly.
Did you just say celery and pasta in the same?
That don't sound right at all.
Sentence
in the same conjunction. Yes. But it doesn't
Good.
taste like celery. It tastes like pasta.
Wow.
I don't believe you. Good Cat says, hello, gentlemen. Chief Skulls Burner says, if I wanted to watch 1580, what do I watch it on besides Facebook? I don't have that. I don't want it. Well, right now we are broadcasting to not just the Facebook, but also to Twitter.
And to your mom.
Oh, oh no!
Well,
Phil!
that's not necessarily a mean thing he just said.
I know.
Well, we're broadcasting to a lot of people's moms, but that sounded like fighting talk.
Wow!
So you can go to the Twitter. We're at 1580 the Fanatic, or you just go look up 1580 the Fanatic on YouTube, because that's where we're actually broadcasting live to right now. Because I got Facebook in trouble for some Jeffrey Dahmer meme or something. Anyway, so for a while we're doing it that way. So Chief Skull, you can watch us on the YouTube.
Jeffrey Dahmer's meme.
It had combo things. It was a COVID thing. It was a Jeffrey Dahmer, I'm a cannibal thing, and it was a I have my rights kind of thing. And all together, it was just I loved that meme. And then somebody was like, I'm offended by this. I just serial killer. I'm complaint. Click.
In hindsight, was it worth it?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm always good with the consequences of anything. Let's see here. Fish Tank says, I jumped off the roof with an umbrella, Mary Poppins style. I'm Mary Poppins, y'all, on a trampoline, but my instincts told me to try to land on my feet. Body collapsed, and I knocked myself out on my own knee.
Oh, boy.
The rest of the day, I felt like I dreamt the whole thing.
Wow. That sounds like that drips of concussion.
Boomer Sooner says, when I was a little tyke, my grown-up neighbor took the training wheels off my bike. It took me to the top of the hill, and on the way down, I hit a stake in somebody's yard. And they were growing some grass there, and I had a bump in the center of my forehead, like I had a third eye right there. Just punk. Damn, Boomer Sooner. That's pretty good. Big George says, is this like a yearly topic about what fantasy football platform we should use? I vote we use AOL, CNN Sports Illustrated as our fantasy football platform.
Wow.
Not yearly, but seasonal. It's a seasonal topic.
Is there AOL?
No,
still?
no, I don't think so.
Yeah, sorry.
AOL, CNN Sports.
When are we getting back to the naked man? That's what I tuned in for today.
Oh,
Phil. What are you talking about?
The second
you should
part
not
of man
fight a
law.
man naked
Yes.
unless you get jumped in prison.
I have some. Oh, wow.
I mean, then you have no choice. You got to fight your way out.
Of course. I had a good point with this, and we've never gotten back to it.
All right, well, go ahead.
Go
I
ahead.
got like a bunch of super fans text still to read, but since this is bothering you and you're the only person who wants to talk about it was a very clear man law.
Yeah.
Man shall not fight naked unless he's jumped in the shower in prison, and he has to fight his way out. What else could you add to that?
I just want to say I'm all in favor for this rule. This has long been my first mechanism of self-defense. In lieu of me not knowing how good of a fighter I am, I've never gotten into a fight. And that kind of scares me because I want to know where I am. Am I really good and is just naturally good at it, or do I need to work on my cardio? So in absence of that, my number one self-defense mechanism has always been, if ever I get into a fight and I don't think I can take him, just go down, just strip down, because nobody wants to fight the naked man.
I'm adding to the man law as we speak. Nor shall a man get naked.
Oh, boy.
To avoid an ass kicking. I'm not kidding. I'm putting that in there. Get naked to avoid an ass kicking.
I'm just saying, if the defense works.
It's written down on this piece of paper, and it shall be typed into the actual Constitution of these United States of America. Phil, you can't do that. That's cheating.
That's working the laws. Like I said, that's not.
You might as well just kick him in the nuts immediately. That's better. Better than that.
The moment I go for the belt buckle, you just misinterpret it casually as a weapon instead of me just trying to untether.
No, so just no, stop, Phil. Prison Wallet says, if I were the Lakers owner, I'd find Phil and pay him to go be the fan of a different team. Yeah, he'd have to end up with like something like the Wizards or something. Let's see. Oh my God, this text line is blowing up on me. Baby Got Dak says, hey guys, we are 21 days away from the draft. Yes, I'm very excited about that. Very, very excited about the NFL draft. I'm very excited about our fantasy football draft, which is about 3 months from then. I can't wait. Bala 51 says, I still have fun talking smack with Big Steve, and okay. I don't know why you're telling me that, Bella 51. Says, how much do I have to pay to make sure Phil is in my league?
Oh, wow.
Well, you have to be in the Premier League because Phil will end up, and that's got to rankle some people, by the way.
I can imagine so.
That's going to rankle some people that Phil is automatically in the Premier League that they are fighting and playing to try to get into.
If it helps, I'm a great fantasy football person to have in your league. I'm very active. I actively win. I set my lineups to the minute. I'm great.
Do I have to play again this year?
Yes.
Damn it.
Yep.
Randy, I've got a couple trades for you already. We can trade draft.
I don't do trades, and I don't respond to people that ask for trades.
Follow 51 says, what? What do you mean, what? What? I don't know you're whatting. Which one are you? What part are you whatting?
We know what he's whatting.
What is he whatting?
He's whatting at my self-defense.
He's wetting? What?
He's wadding. Yeah.
He's wadding? Now he's wadding.
He says, I'm out. I think he's upset because you're in the Premier League automatically because you're part of the show.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Well, Bala 51, there's one surefire cure for that. Win and get in. Random texter says, Jeffrey, regarding the cup that keeps the beer always cold, if you need a cup that keeps beer cold, shouldn't you just put a nipple on it? Oh, that's a good point. I was just thinking where I could sit there and just keep pouring beer into it like a regular beer, just sitting on a 6-pack, pour it into it so I don't have to keep going back to the fridge. But that's a good point. And that is actually man law that you're not supposed to nurse a beer. If it's existing outside of the fridge long enough to get warm, you shouldn't have gotten the beer.
Yeah.
You should have, you drink the beer with a purpose. So that's a good point, Random Texter. Skull says maybe you should save the money from fantasy football and get a couple more gerbils for the antenna wheel.
Oh, for the flamethrower.
Now we've talked about that. Yeah.
Well, see, here's the thing, which you understand. We have a different kind of transmitter and it uses chinchillas. So there. Hila Ben Mike says, has Phil brought anything back to the butt stuff yet today? No, he's been a good boy, and let's not encourage that.
Yeah, and we even went to a topic where one gets naked, and I still didn't go there.
All right, is this real? Somebody check this and see if it's real. But Just Tip is saying that CBS Sports is reporting that the Broncos are moving up on the draft to take Justin Fields. I don't know if you've heard this, Phil, or if you were too busy extolling the virtues of a Speedo. We're checking that. We're checking that now. Anybody see anything? Or is he screwing with us? He might be screwing.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
Good Cat says, if I had a Laker co-owner money, I'd pull a strange brew and I'd swim in a vat of whiskey. I feel like that would get into your pores of your skin and you might not survive that. Large Marge says, if I had that money, I'd invent a microphone that doesn't work and I'd give it to Phil.
Wow.
Prison Wallet says, getting jumped in the shower naked does happen, by the way. Well, yeah, we know it does, Prison Wallet. That's what we're bringing that up. Boomer Sooner says, holy cow, Jeffrey, this guy is something else. Does he have a clue if he has to ask if he's in shape? Well, if he has to ask if he's in shape, he's not in shape.
Well, there's a difference between some of the people in best shape. I mean, you look at the boxing ring that we just had with I forget what his name, Nate Richardson or Nate Burleson or whatever his name was, against Logan Paul. Just because you're in great shape, he's an athlete. He's a former NBA player. That doesn't mean that you can box or you can fight. That's two completely different things.
Chief Skull Burner says, Phil, forget naked. Your first mechanism should be just to get in the fetal position and cry. That'll put people off enough. I think they'll leave you alone.
I don't know. I still think that if you're fully clothed, it's not as embarrassing and public shaming to the rest of the group.
A weeping man like curled up on the floor. You just can't hit that guy. You can't hit him. Watermelon says, is there a position open as a Supreme Court Justice or Chief Justice? I'd like to be considered. Well, unfortunately, you have to be a man card commissioner in one of the regions of the United States, but I don't know. Maybe it'll be a thing where it's separate from the commission. This is something that is going to have to be brought up after we release the Manstitution. All right, we got a lot of texts coming in, but I got to take this break. When we come back, we'll try to get to the quarterbacks. That's right. Let's talk some NFL. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Free speech is priceless. It is now 13 years since Summit Male Medical started helping men overcome the effects of erectile dysfunction, premature issues, and low testosterone. And the only way we could help was to be able to get the message out that we could help. Thank you, free speech. We've had to deal with these sensitive topics and inform the public that we can help and we guarantee to help with ED, or we won't charge you. These are issues that break apart relationships and then in turn families. And without freedom of speech, we would have not been able to help the tens and tens of thousands of guys here at Summit Male Medical. If you're one of the millions that still need help with ED, PE, or low T, call 480-398-1000 or go to summitmailmedical.com. Free speech. Ideas and information are not to be afraid of, but they should be discussed openly. So make that call to Summit Medical to start that discussion to get you the help you need. 480-398-1000 or go to summitmailmedical.com. We are here to help.
Coins and precious metals never sounded so good.
Save for your future during a time of uncertain economy.
Across the globe, two of the most heavily traded and most popular commodities for investments are gold and silver. Arbitrage opportunities exist in precious metals trading, and First National Bullion in Scottsdale can help with all the answers on today's gold and silver markets and the investment opportunities, including information on precious metals arbitrage trading. Call First National Bullion at 480-923-9899, 480-923-9899, online at firstingold.com, spelled out FIRSTINGOLD.com, firstingold.com.
First National Bullion, 480-923-9899.
I'm Cisco Miranda, owner of Miranda Delivery Service. As a business owner, my job is to provide the best quality service for our customers. Affinity Technology helped us reinvent our business processes, using technology to make us more efficient. I didn't know I needed technology consulting, but my ROI has been off the charts. Affinity Technology has saved us more than 80 man-hours a week and has helped me get back to what I do best, focus on my customers. Visit atechaz.com, that's atechaz.com, and see how better technology processes can help your small business.
Hi, I'm Steve.
And I'm Felicia.
We're the hosts of the show, Drive Friendly.
With Steve's 40 years of experience, you're going to get the real insider information about the automotive industry. And I'll be interviewing local celebrities and experts so you can be informed and live your very best life.
Laugh and learn with Steve, Felicia, and the gang. You'll be smarter for listening. Drive Friendly, 10 a.m. Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Download the Fanatic app. News, scores, social media updates, and more on your smartphone, on your tablet. The free Fanatic app, available at the Google Play Store or the App Store, and at 1580thefanatic.com.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. Hey, Phil, do me a favor. You know my to-do list is my email address.
Yes.
Can you send me an email and remind me to get the music ready for Foo Fighters Friday? I don't want to forget that because we're looking forward to Classic Rock Friday. And even though they're a current band, they're currently a band that kicks ass, it does count as classic rock. So Randy decided we would do Foo Fighter Friday, and that's what we're going to do. So please.
Not wait for
Remind
my
me.
week. I cannot
Whoa,
wait.
Well, your week comes with an asterisk, which means that you might get overruled. What is your first choice for next Friday?
For next Friday, Phil Collins, but I am not stuck on it. I am
He's not
malleable.
classic rock enough. I mean, unless it's all Genesis. His stuff he did after Genesis, that counts as pop music. Isn't that right, Randy?
Yeah, it was more of a like a hit radio, pop radio. Yeah.
All right, give
You
me some
can't
time to research.
hurry, love. You know that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can feel it coming in the air tonight. That's
In the air tonight. That's probably a classic rock. Everybody loves the drum breakdown in that.
Right. I don't know, Phil. You're going to have to submit some ideas. I've been telling people lately, hey, tell me what song should represent you in my phone. I got Bad to the Bone going off whenever Randy calls me.
Oh,
and I asked Radio Ron what it should be, and he was like, ooh, he was kind of taken aback by that. And he's like, well, let me think about it. I'll let you know. And one of the ideas that came up was because he's out there with the Sons of Anarchy riding their electric bikes, wearing assless chaps.
Sons of Apathy.
Apathy and terrorizing North Scottsdale. I said, well, what if I got Queen bicycle? You know, but that doesn't. I want to ride my bicycle. I don't think that's really.
No,
that's not really good. It's kind of weak as far as to represent a man when your phone rings. So I don't know if anybody knows any good bike riding music ideas. Let me know.
Now on the bicycle thing there. Now, okay,
Yeah.
so now just hear me out. Now this is a bit of a stretch, but the The B side to that is Fat Bottom Girls.
Okay.
Hey, could probably do that for Ron. You know, the Assless Chaps, Sons of Apathy, Fat Bottom Girls.
Yeah, but then I'd have to explain it to my wife.
Fat Bottom Girls. You know, that one.
It's a worthy song,
Yeah.
worthy of consideration, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait and see what Radio
It's a
Ron
little
comes up with.
stronger than, Bicycle.
Now, how come you never gave any consideration to the 5 that I gave you for
Hmm.
my ringtone?
Because a couple of them were horrible, and I just moved on.
Swan Lake has not been in style for many years, Phil.
No, I got to go back now and find that email.
You want me
here.
to list it for you?
Dun, dun, dun,
List it
dun,
for you
dun,
live
dun,
on the radio on these airwaves?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. You can tell me the song. You can tell me the song.
Here we go. Gloria by Laura Branigan.
no.
That ain't
Gloria.
happening. No,
All right, that was number
not
1 with
cool.
a bullet.
No.
Number 2, the name of the song is
Yeah.
called "I Just Had Sex" by the Lonely Island.
Now that's a funny song, but I also can't have that firing off if I'm
Yeah.
sitting there with my
Just
wife.
had
Right,
sex.
right. What
No.
about number 3? It's Not Unusual by Tom Jones.
Oh, it's not unusual to be loved by everyone.
See, that was a great one. That was a fair one.
Yeah, I just don't think it's him.
Come on, man.
All right.
Tom Jones was the original panty dropper. Come on now.
He was. He was. 4, Pour Some Sugar on Me by Def Leppard.
That would
No,
be
I don't want to
hard.
pour anything
That would
on
be
you.
Pour
would be-
some damn sugar
that
on
would
me.
be, that would be
by Def
difficult
Leppard.
to try to explain that one.
No,
Yeah.
no. Still thinking It's Raining Men is
Yeah.
probably good.
Yeah,
But
number
go ahead.
5, my last one that I gave to you, The River of Dreams by Billy Joel. In the middle of the night,
No.
I've been walking in my sleep.
No.
So what we're learning is you have no taste in music.
Wow.
What we're learning is you ask me for ringtones and I send them to you.
Yeah, but you really want those songs to represent you?
Well, for you, yes. And I want to call you frequently and often.
Wow.
What's a good song for somebody about to get fired?
It's so long. What
So
was
long,
that song?
farewell,
nah.
Avita, say goodbye.
Soon. Fed Fan says, for Radio Ron, I suggest 99 Biker Friends by Bowling for Soup. Awesome song. I've never heard that song. Okay, good. Now we're thinking here. Good Cat says, how about Get Your Motor Running? Oh, yeah. Born to Be Wild.
Born to Be Wild.
That's it. That's the one. That's the one I need. Thank you, Good Cat. Hefty Lefty says, pour some sugar on me is perfect for a $6 sirloin Friday at Crazy Girls.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that sentence means, but I think it's about eating at a strip club.
Yeah, that steak is tougher than a bullet.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, great song, Phil. River of Dreams. The river is wet, you know. Big Steve says, at least Phil isn't going with I'm too sexy for my shirt.
I'm not
sexy for my shirt.
I'm not delusional. I'm not going to just make, and plus Jeffrey would love that because then everybody would it's a self-proclamation anytime I called him.
I'm going to block your number, I think. Chief Skull Burner Phone says, Phil's music picks make me want to give him a beat down for Friday music. Navy Brad says, Phil's ringtone should be Another One Bites the Dust. Heelman Mike says, how about the tropical drink song? Hell no. That's not going on my phone. Prison Wallet likes
Phil just missed that.
Hey,
Tropical drink song. I never heard of that.
Goodbye.
Oh, yeah.
Fog Hat Slow Ride. Is that for Radio Ron or is that for Phil?
That sounds like
Cowboy
Radio Ron.
Sparky, that actually is not a bad one. Radio Texter says, random texture says, Radio Ron's ringtone should be Born to Be Wild. Yes, we have decided as much. That is perfect for this. Perfect for this.
Yeah.
He also says, as lame as it sounds, if I were getting ready to fight Phil for some stupid reason and he started tripping, I'd have nothing to do with him. Technically, he avoids
See?
what he's trying to avoid.
See? And mission accomplished is what I say. Mission accomplished.
Another vote for Slow Ride from Floppy Bumper, and Cowboy Sparky was on that too. Bala 51 says, speaking of classic rock, how about a pina colada? God damn it. He didn't say it. It wasn't what you thought he said. It wasn't.
like pina coladas, getting caught in the rain.
Circumcised Mosquito says, Jeffrey.
It wasn't me because I don't have my
want-
soundboard.
You want Field in your league. That's one team you may be able to beat this year because you sucked last year. Okay. You mean Phil. Yeah, that's
he
why
means me.
I had a bad year. I admit it. It was a very uncharacteristic year for me. And I'm not upset. I'm not bent out of shape about it. I know that there's no way, because look, Boogie had a similarly bad year as me, and he won the championship the year before. So I'm not panicked. I'm not worried. I know how to play fantasy football.
But weren't you so bad that if you were just a regular listener, you would have been kicked out of the Premier League, and Boogie, in essence, because you bumped everything up one, he's out of the Premier League?
Absolutely.
Oh,
I didn't make the rules.
Actually, you did.
No, that was actually decreed by others. Fighting Wampa says, "Oh, how I wish beer came out of nipples." Okay.
Wow.
That's philosophic, I think. Ukula Mark says, "Phil, you're some kind of sick freak there, right there, aren't you, with your defense?"
Well, hey, nothing gets through this defense. We win championships. That's all I hear.
Super Sloth says, "If Phil gets in a fight, never fear. Super Sloth is here." Whatever that means. You guys are weird today. Blissful Hayes says, "Def Leppard sucks. Pop music makes me want to vomit." Fat Bottom Girls is a great song, Randy.
Thank you.
Chief Skull Burner Phone says, "You should play Pennywise song, Bro Him. They play it a lot during sporting events."
Well, then I don't want to play it as a ringtone.
Right. Large Marge says, "The Evercool mug is not meant for cretins that drink out of cans and bottles. That's meant for the super rich." Oh, look, he showed me a picture of his setup there. Not bad. Floppy Bumper says, "If you square up to me and start stripping, I'm going to kick your ass on general principle alone."
No, you're not. I disagree with the premise. You would not. A guy comes up to you fully naked. You're not swinging on it. You're trying to get away.
If
from
I'm
it.
anywhere nearby and Phil pulls that nonsense, I'll yell, "Full pardon." And whatever happens next is on you, Phil. Good cat, you're right. Don't ever have an open beer last long enough to get warm.
Right.
Helaban Mike says, "Magic Carpet Ride." Baker Cocky Hen says, "Seriously, Phil's song, Mikey Bustos, Wear Speedos." It's a remake of Justin Bieber's Despacito.
No.
Wear Speedos.
Fish Tank says, "This has been a fantastic conversation about quarterbacks, hasn't it?" Yes, I know. I'm trying so hard to get to that, and I think we finally reached that point. And so Trevor Lawrence is getting married this weekend.
Hey, way to go, him.
How about that?
I wonder if she has short hair, because how can you compete with Trevor Lawrence's long hair when you get married?
No, sorry.
Too long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm looking it up to make sure, but she actually has long hair.
I know, but that's you don't want to out hair your wife when you're getting married. That's the kind of stuff that they don't take kindly to.
Hey, maybe he'll pull a Justin Herbert, where halfway through the season last year, he looked completely like 20 years younger the moment he did it.
Well, because he's getting married, he will not be getting a medical exam in Indy this weekend, like about 150 other guys, and really, he doesn't have to. He's already the number one pick.
Well,
they already know he's got that torn labrum and he's trying to recover from it. That's all good. But that's my first question is he going to put his hair up, or is she?
Well, it doesn't really matter. They both have long hair. She's got long hair, longer
Does
than.
she look like him?
No,
Okay.
no. But they make a cute couple. She's. What do you mean?
What?
Nothing.
Nothing.
What are you saying?
Nothing.
It always is weird whenever a couple's together and they look like brother and sister. Ew.
That's,
they don't
that's
look,
a good point.
They don't
That's
look like
creepy.
that at all. No. But she does have long hair.
Okay. Well, now it'll be interesting to see their wedding pictures. I bet she puts her hair up.
I'm looking through these pictures they have here on the Google, and I don't see her with hair going up. Sometimes it's in one of those, what do you call those, horsey tails? What do you call those?
Pigtail.
No, not pigtail. It's another thing.
Bun.
Princess Leia.
No.
Big old bun.
Horsetail. I
Beehive.
can't think of it right now. But
Mohawk.
Fat bottom girl.
but she does not. I don't see anywhere in here where she puts her hair up. It's generally just both of them, just long flowing.
When
flocks.
women get married, they do something. They
Oh,
do
you're
a
talking
thing.
about on her wedding day.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it was just, I didn't mean to have this much conversation about it. It was
Yeah.
just a kind of like, since he's got the long flowing L'Oreal kind of hair going there, I wonder how she's going to counter that.
See, now she's got that, that curly, that loose curl kind of girl hair, where his is just pretty much straight.
Right. Oh, so I wonder if he'll like get into the curlers the night before. Because it's a
that's a good
special
point.
day.
Yeah.
It's a special day.
It's a good point.
You're wrong for this.
Fed fan says their shampoo and conditioner bill must be outrageous.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And he seems like the kind of guy who's like, this is my side of the shower. That is your side of the shower. You don't touch my conditioner.
Yeah, yeah.
You
I
don't
could see that.
touch my shampoo.
Yeah.
You want to marry me? You want to live in my world? You stay on your side of the shower. That is your stuff. That is my stuff. I ain't bleeping around here.
I wonder if at the end of the long day, he just looks into her eyes deeply and says, "What's your conditioning treatment program?"
Oh, I'm sure they've gone to the salon.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
had treatments.
Yeah.
I'm sure that'll be part of their pre-wedding ritual.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, but yeah, Fed fan's right. A lot of money spent on product in that household. So we kind of sort of talked about one quarterback. We did that. Let's see if we can do more in the next hour. Come on back, kids. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. We're getting to it.
From the Augusta National Golf Club, Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the Masters. I'm Ted Emmerich. This course was not in a giving mood today in the first round. Rock-hard greens, wind gusting at 20 miles an hour. Only a dozen players are under par. Webb Simpson is one of them, and he actually laments his score wasn't better.
I feel like I left a lot out there. We were just talking about it, which is a good feeling. It's disappointing to only get 2 under. I had 25 feet for eagle and 2 made par, 3 putted 5, and then obviously 16 hit in the water. So good news is I feel like the game is really there, and it's a firm, dry golf course. So I don't want it over. But I'll look back on this round, and though a couple shots sting, I'm really happy with the way I played.
Now, if he's happy, how does fellow U.S. Open champion Justin Rose feel? Simpson with a 2 under 70, Rose a 7 under 65, lapping the field through 18 holes. Rose carries a 4-shot lead into Friday. You're listening to coverage of the 2021 Masters on Westwood One.
If I'm not commuting anymore, where do I really want to live?
While you handle life's questions, Merrill Guided Investing helps you manage your portfolio and invest for your next move with the option to work with an advisor at a low cost and minimum. Merrill, a Bank of America company. Visit merrilledge.com/investing goals to get started today.
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated, both a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor, member SIPC. Investment products are not FDIC insured or not bank guaranteed and may lose value.
Lowe's Spring Fest is here. We've got $10 off gallon cans or $40 off 5-gallon pails on select interior and exterior paints, stains, and coatings. And appliance special values plus free local delivery on appliances $396 or more in store and online. Lowe's, home to any budget, home to any possibility. Offers valid through 4/14. Actual paint sizes are 116 to 640 fluid ounces. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for rebate terms and conditions. For appliances, restrictions and additional fees may apply. See Lowe's.com or store for details. U.S. only.
Justin Rose, the 18-hole leader at the Masters for the 4th time in his career and the first time since 2008. He shoots a 7 under 65 with 7 birdies and an eagle in the last 11 holes. Rose 4 shots better than the diminutive Brian Harman and Hideki Matsuyama, both carding 3 under 69s. Will Zalatoris playing in his first Masters, just his 3rd major start. He's 2 under with Webb Simpson, Christian Bezuidenhout, and Patrick Reed. Jordan Spieth 1 under, an eagle at 15, the highlight of his round. Spieth is 6 shots back. Justin Thomas 1 over 73, that's 8 back. Brooks Koepka limped around the track, 3 weeks removed from right knee surgery. He shoots 2 over 74, 9 back. From Augusta, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
KQFN Tempe, also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM
and K240 Rolling Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down, because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Filthy Phil there in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale, and you guys are on the Summit Mail Medical Text line, 888-368-1580. So Randy is in studio today because the internet at his side of town went kaplooey. Any word on that? Have they been able to get that fixed and back up?
Last word, Miss Kim has been sending me updates. Still no word, no estimate of time when it's going to be repaired. So it looks like I'll be back in studio again tomorrow.
That's crazy.
Unless some sort of miraculous thing happens. Speaking of miraculous, can I interrupt your flow of thought here for a second?
Sure.
Because I was watching... you're in studio too. See, look at you.
No, that's a green screen.
You just fooled me.
You thought I was standing right there next to you, didn't
I was looking around the room like, where the hell is he?
If I was there, though, I'd have my back to the equipment and you. And so it'd just be creepy and weird, like a horror movie. Just you'd see the back of me.
Be like the basketball hoop is actually the camera.
Right.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Anyway,
What were you saying about the internets?
Oh, so the internets have been going crazy. There was a ball game today between the Mets and the let me see here.
The non-Mets.
Whoever the Mets were playing. Okay.
Right.
So Mets and Marlins. Okay.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Were you going to talk about this?
Yeah, but go ahead. You're on it.
Well,
Let's do it.
The thing about this is this is showing you, and this will underscore, Jeffrey, when you say that umpires need to have accountability.
Absolutely.
This is a simple call. There should have been no call to New York. There should have been no replay. It should have been simple, clear cut. Mets lose, game over, batter out. But what happened was the batter was in the box, standing, and the bases were loaded.
And let me pause you for a second because we talked yesterday about that jackhole who started a bench clearing brawl. Because he was mad he got hit by a pitch after an hour before he had leaned into it the exact same way this guy did.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
So Michael Conforto was the batter for the Mets. Bases were loaded, and he's one of those guys that crowd the strike zone. And so Ron Culpa is your umpire, the plate umpire, and he should have made a quick and decisive call. He missed it. So it was there was a full count. The ball came in and it grazed Conforto's elbow. Now his elbow was in the strike zone. Okay, so that is a instant dead ball. Batter is out. You cannot do that. Secondly, he leaned into the pitch, and he had one of those, which I think they should be outlawed because it will deter guys from leaning into pitches and taking one off the elbow. Once you take a baseball,
elbow pad.
Right? Yeah, he had one of those. It's not unlike a catcher's shin guard, and it's on his elbow. So anyway, this should have been clean. Ron Culpa then explained to a longtime manager of the Marlins that they made the call, and then later admitted that he missed the call. He made a mistake. But the call stood anyway. This is an irritant to me. It is frustrating to me. The umpires need to be educated. They need to know. And granted, there's a lot of rules and regulations, but it's clearly outlined. You cannot be in the strike zone, any part of your body. And if you get hit by a baseball, pitched ball, and part of your body is in the strike zone, dead ball, batter out. It's that clean, that easy, that quick.
Yeah. And it was really comical to watch. Even the play-by-play crew is like, what just happened?
Yeah.
If you have the ability to go back and watch the video, how do you not get the call right? Well, you're right. It is a basic rule.
Yeah. And it's very clearly written in the baseball rule book. Every umpire, this is like umpiring 101. A pitched ball hits a batter in the strike zone. It is a dead ball and he is out. Now, I don't know why they missed it. What happened was they gave Conforto first base, which walked in the winning run.
Yep.
Game over. Marlins lose. And a lot of people might say, well, there's 162 games. Okay. So what if the Marlins lose a wild card spot because they lost by one game?
Yeah.
look back on this one.
They have a right to be upset about it, and every
Absolutely.
game matters. Why
Absolutely.
play it otherwise? I get, it's a meaningless regular season game. Ain't no damn thing known as a regular season game that don't matter. Every game matters. You're playing to win.
Yeah.
And I don't blame the Marlins for being upset about it.
Well, I mean, if I'm the Marlins, I've got to go ahead and protest this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have
right.
got to appeal to a higher source. Now,
It's not whiny. It's not
No,
incorrect.
absolutely not.
You're within your rights. Go protest.
Absolutely. You have I think you have
Oh, come on, Phil.
you have a certain time period in which the ball club can file for a petition, a review, anyway, we'll have to see. So,
Okay, so Phil, what is your objection here with the G's and the Louisan?
Well, it's just one midday game against the Mets, who are going to hoist a lot of wins, and it's one game in 162. It really is as close to meaningless as possible.
So right and wrong only matter when it's important, or was right and wrong should matter all the time?
Why did the Marlins
And
only
if you're a
score two?
competitive team, we don't need that win. It's early in the season.
If it came down to that
Protest that sumbitch right there, because it's not just a problem. It's like, hey, we lost the game because of it.
Yeah.
It's also, you got to shine the light on how bad the officiating is.
that's
won't
my
disagree.
point right there.
I won't disagree with that.
That is my point right there. We're not talking balls and strikes here, guys. We're talking about the rules of the game. Rules of the game. And anybody that tells you that perfect game that was, I forget the umpire that blew the play at first base, called him safe when he was really out. That damn call should have been reversed too.
Yep. Fish Tank says the ump even starts to ring him up and then gives him first base. The entire crew met. No one knew the rule. This rule is ancient. You're right, Fish Tank. You're
Yeah, and
absolutely
that's
right.
another thing. Why is this guy ringing him up before the ball's in the damn catcher's mitt? I watched the video again during the break, and this guy his hand came up before the ball even landed in the catcher's mitt.
Mhm.
That is terrible and unforgivable umpiring. That
Floppy
guy
bumper.
should be gone, and so should Angel Hernandez and the rest of these guys that feel like they don't have to pay attention to their job.
Floppy Bumper says Jim Joyce.
Jim Joyce, that's it. That nice guy made an honest mistake, should have reversed the call.
He also says we should get Phil to a Brazilian jiu-jitsu gym before he gets his ass kicked.
Well, again, why would I need to do that if I already know the perfect defense?
You know what happens is nobody wants to fight a naked guy curled up on the floor crying,
That's
but
true.
they will kick the crap out of one.
Yeah, Phil, if somebody starts really getting hefty with you, just start peeling clothes off.
Yeah,
They'll
that's
go the other way.
exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
That's
don't know
it.
why.
Yeah.
I don't know
Find
who added this
Yeah.
fetal position stuff.
No,
That's
just
just
start
an
peeling
immobile
clothes off.
Yeah, and that's not an immobile.
Yeah, hang
part.
on, man. I'm Greco-Roman wrestling, Jack. Just give
Can
me a
I
second.
say something real fast?
Yeah.
That is absolutely a man card violation. But if it keeps you from getting beat up, whatever.
There you go.
It's
See,
still
there-
a violation.
There we
You
go.
will-
At the end
will
of the day.
be fined. Fish Tank says, I absolutely hate when people say it doesn't in baseball. Teams lose pennants and wild card spots and home field advantage by one game every year.
Yeah.
Probably my biggest pet peeve in all of sports. My biggest pet peeve, Fish Tank, is when people say, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
I hate when people say that. Mr. Pringle says, if you Blender boys would actually watch sports, you know that Randy's rant happens more than you know. But rile the big guy up, please.
Oh, I would just been there. This is an unmistakable missed call, and it cost the Marlins a game. I feel bad for them. If I'm the Marlins, I'm protesting this, and I'm taking it. And that's another thing. This thing should be handled by an independent party that's not going to be beholden to the umpires union or the players union or anybody else. It should be an independent party. They make the call, and the game is either protested and overturned, or it's left alone, just like it was.
Hefty Lefty says, yeah, that arm thing, like the big old bionic looking thing Barry Bonds used to wear.
Yeah, well, that's just BS. You know what? If you're a real man, I remember when I was playing ball, you try to get hit, you stick your arm out there, you take one for the team. These guys anymore, they don't know what any pain is. They've got armor all up and down their arms and on their legs. I mean, you haven't lived till you've fouled one off the inseam of your foot.
Mr. Pringle says, Randy, does the name Don Denkinger?
Dankinger?
Yeah, ring a bell.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was, and I can't remember right offhand because there's so much. I'm still pretty hot under the collar about this Culpa thing, but yeah, Denkinger made a horrific call as well. I think it was in a World Series.
Justin Tip says the really sad part of this screwed up call is that even the robo umps couldn't solve this problem. Millennials are taught to be right and follow the rules. If MLB wants millennials to get into baseball, maybe MLB should have umpires that get it right and follow the rules. Who hasn't, by the way, kicked a naked fetal position dude? Maybe people who didn't have a younger brother. Floppy Bumper says, yep, cost him a perfect game.
Yeah.
Mr. Pringle says, can Speedo Boy tell the fourth dimension about the old Don? Randy just did it. So Big George says, Phil is so wrong on this. It's comical. Every game matters. If they don't matter, why play them? How many times does a team miss the playoffs by one game in baseball? Phil, all the time.
Yeah.
One game in baseball? In baseball.
This game means nothing right now. When it comes into play, is if the Marlins are competing for a playoff spot or a wild card spot, it's going to be this game or a few games like this where it was out of their control and they lost because of a technicality, otherwise known as a blown umpire's call.
Where I will agree with you is that I don't know what it is, but this particular year, if we're looking at a calendar year, this particular year, the umpires and refereeing and officiating throughout sports has seemed really dismally bad. Yeah. I don't know if there's no seminar.
Union has too much power, and so there's no accountability, and it's bad. You're right, Phil. It's bad in basketball. It's bad in baseball. It has been. I don't know if you would say it was as bad in football, but football has always had a few warts here and there. But yeah, officiating, I guess these unions are getting too much power now, and the pendulum has swung too far.
And that's what I mean. There needs to be an independent party that does reviews on stuff like this and encourage the teams to call foul, to protest a game, and bring it up to this independent party. It cannot be a baseball front office independent party. It cannot be an umpire. It's going to have to be some independent party that's not beholden to anybody or any union that makes the call, and baseball will honor it and stand by it.
Now, I'm an idea man.
Yeah.
I think you're going to like this idea.
All right.
Man.
Let's hear it.
All right, here it is. Now, hear me out. Don't panic.
All right.
I say we give every umpire, every referee, every official,
yes,
$100,000 a year raise.
Oh, jeez.
If
If
they'll wear a special shock collar.
Oh, God.
And if somebody at the head office in New York, an independent company, catch them doing egregious plays, they get like a 20-second burst of and it happens in real time. So it's like, pass interference, and as the guy is lying there, everything stops. They stop the clock, and then he gets up. And he's like, "Actually, fourth down, everything's fine."
But I've got to tell officials timeout. I vacated my bladder. I need to change my clothes.
I need another guy in here, please.
I like it.
I 15 seconds. All right, I'll be human, but still,
it just kills me. That guys like and Angel Hernandez is an easy target because he's just miserable at his job.
They need to fire his ass.
Well, and then they won't do it.
Wait, I'm not done. Out of a cannon because he's so bad.
Yeah, they just won't do. I don't understand it. And the guy makes six figures, a damn good living for a part-time job.
And there are other people out there who could probably do it better than him, and they're not being allowed to do it because he's there and in the way. And he's protected by a union who protects a horrible, horrible official. And that
just drives me crazy.
Makes you really hate that union. Again, I'm not anti-union. A lot of the times, unions are needed and important because big business is going to step on the little guy. Well, now the little guy is stepping on all of us with bad calls, stepping on the business, stepping on the fans, stepping on everybody. They got to get this ship right, or else a lot of people are going to jump right off it. What's the point?
This Conforto, he comes up again against the Marlins. Baseball teams, they've got like elephants. They've got long memories.
Self-correcting things.
Hey, you want to stick your arm out there? Here's one. Bam! Right in your rib cage. How do you like that? Take your base, jackass.
Oh, hell, I'd plunk him in the batter circle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just right in the rib cage.
Just over there, just kind of swinging, minding his own business. Somebody else is up the bat.
Yeah.
Wow, what the hell just happened?
Well, that one got away
I just
from
want to
me.
make sure your
Sorry.
elbow got a little bit of warm up there for you. That's what we need.
Well,
Blissful Hayes says officiating it doesn't even matter. The players are making so much money. They don't give a damn about winning the game. As soon as they sign their first pro contract, they've already won. Officiating doesn't matter. Well, that's very cynical, Blissful Hayes. And I don't think that a lot of people agree with that. Floppy Bumper says it's an easy fix. Just take away the punishment if a player punches an ump or an official in the face. Oh, dear God. That's a horrible idea.
That is the worst idea I've heard of all.
Yeah, Hefty Lefty says, I miss watching Vlad Guerrero go up every time with no gloves and just a little tape on his fingers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. These
By the way,
these guys would get up there, man. Oh, they didn't have any armor piercing stuff, bullet piercing stuff. They had none of that junk.
Hefty Lefty also says he'll review the calls. He says, I don't give two bleeps about who wins baseball game. I'll be as objective as anybody. Ukla says, whatever you say is right, Randolph. No nuts. Fish Tank says, the robo ump solves this. No problem. Ball is in the zone. You get hit. That means you are out. Well, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And can the robo tell that his arm was in there? Is it set up for that sort of thing?
That's a question that's going to have to be answered. A lot of these batters today will encroach on the strike zone, try to get a pitch because these guys are throwing pitches away from them and they're trying to extend that bat a little farther so they can just kind of flip something into right field or hit one back through the box. So that's why these guys are right in there. I mean, that's their sweet zone. They have what they call a short swing. They get real close to the plate and they don't extend their arms until they're all the way through that hitting zone. So the fat part of the bat is in that meaty part of the hitting zone. But if these guys are going to hang over, man, Bob Gibson did it right. You're going to stand over the plate like that. Guess what? About 96 right into your shoulder blade. See how that feels.
The problem, though, is, Randy, that would cost you the game in that scenario.
I don't know that it would cost you the game.
Scenario.
Because the next time that guy comes up, guess what? He's thinking about that. He's not going to be crowding the plate.
Papa Mike says, sorry, but there's no such thing as an independent company or organization. Everybody can be made an offer you can't refuse.
Yeah, I know.
And their decision is actually my decision and great for my wallet. Mr. Pringle says, Jeffrey, saying you're not anti-union is funny. Kind of says that you're a union guy working in a right-to-work state. No, I've never been in any kind of a union. What I'm saying is I understand the need for a union at some point, but the problem is they always get corrupted and then their power swings too far in the wrong direction and it hurts the other side. So I am right down the damn middle when it comes to unions, politics, everything. Because I don't know, just because I think for myself, maybe. I don't know. Fed Fan says Randy is right. In college, I took a fast pitch off the toe and that hurt like a mother.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right, we got to take a break. Remember when I said we were going to talk about NFL quarterbacks?
Yeah.
Yeah, me either.
I'm
it's
sorry.
a Daily Blender
That was
here
a
on
fun
1580, The Fanatic.
From the Augusta National Golf Club, Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the Masters. I'm Ted Emmerich. The return of the springtime Masters with a bit of a U.S. Open feel. Low numbers coming at a premium in the first round. Patrick Reed had one of them despite a bogey at 18.
With how firm and fast this place played, and then on top of it with the wind kind of picking up and, it's kind of swirling there early on in the rounds. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely accept a 200 par round. I mean, I would love to make the putt on the last to get to 3, but still, I felt like I made a lot of quality golf swings. Felt like I was hitting a lot of good putts, and that's the thing about this place. When this place plays this firm and fast, you're going to hit some good golf shots, end up some bad spots. You're going to hit some bad golf shots, end up some okay spots. So just one of those things. You have to handle it mentally and just kind of move on. And, anytime you can come out and shoot under par around here, especially in the opening round, you definitely have confidence going the rest of the week.
Well, the 2018 Masters champion never lacks confidence. Reed at 2 under is 5 shots off the lead, held by Justin Rose, who is 7 under par. You're listening to coverage of the 2021 Masters on Westwood One.
Oh, come on. There it is. In golf, the right adjustments can make all the difference. We feel the same way about financial planning. With Fidelity Wealth Management, your dedicated advisor will work with you to create a personalized plan for your full financial picture. And as your needs change, they'll help you make adjustments so you can stay on target. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
One round down at Augusta National, Justin Rose on top of 7 under 65. The Englishman played the last 11 holes in 9 under par. It's a 4-shot lead for Rose. Brian Harman and Hideki Matsuyama both at 3 under. Will Zalatoris, Webb Simpson, Christian Bezuidenhout, and Patrick Reed at 2 under. Siwoo Kim, Jason Kokrak, Shane Lowry, Tyrrell Hatton, and Jordan Spieth, the 2015 Masters champion, at 1 under 6 back, and that is it for players at under par. Dustin Johnson, the defending champion, 2 over 74 today. DJ is 9 back. Patrick Cantlay, number 10 in the world, a 7 over 79. That's 14 shots off the pace. Rory McIlroy, a 4 over 76. That's 11 back. Bryson DeChambeau, 4 over as well. From Augusta, I'm Ted Emmerich.
Jacobs and Haley, 6 to 10 weekday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and at 1580thefanatic.com.
The Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. You can hear us in 99.3 FM, 95.9 FM in the East Valley. But boy, I tell you what, that really rocks you out in Fountain Hills. And of course, you got 1580thefanatic.com where you can get your apps, where you can stream live. You can go there to get the podcast in case you miss part of the show, due to work and life and stuff like that. And of course, our advice is always, if you can't listen to the show live because of work, you need to quit that job and find something else to do with your life. But, that's up to you. 888-368-1580. All right, I'm going to clear through this text line, but I swear to God, we are going to talk about the NFL quarterbacks. I got a big stack of stuff on NFL quarterbacks. And I'm not mad, Randy, because we were going to talk about the whole baseball thing, too. Anyways, I missed you yesterday. There's all kinds of good baseball to talk about.
That's what I understand. I apologize.
Was another guy sticking his elbow out there trying to get hit like a jackass. Anyway, let's see. Fairweather Dan says, yay, Randy got his Cox back.
No, it's still missing.
He had no Cox communications, got in his car, and now he's in front of a live studio audience.
Live studio audience from the Harvard Cellar Studio.
I swear to God, one of these days we're going to do the entire show with those voices.
What do you there?
We'll do that to punish people, and we feel like they really need a punishment. We'll have to lock the doors because Radio Ron will come in with a fire extinguisher. Random Texter says that the perfect song for Phil's ringtone, Tiptoe Through the Tulips. That actually does represent the weirdness of Phil. Are you familiar with Tiny Tim?
Well, the Christmas Carol outside of that.
Listen, just go to you have my permission. Go to the Spotify, hit in Tiny Tim, Tiptoe Through the Tulips, and crank that up so you can hear it. That is probably the most appropriate suggestion, Random Texter.
Absolutely.
Kiss the Cook says, is today Blender warm-up day for Freaky Friday? Kind of seems that way, don't it? Of course, Kiss the Cook and Baby Got Dak were helping you out, Randy, with ponytail. The thing that you call a ponytail.
Ponytail. There you go.
Cowboy Sparky says, okay, Chaz, Michael. What the hell was Did I just launch another
I
missile?
have a feeling.
Okay. Yeah, turn that up. That's Tiny Tim.
Yeah.
And that was in the 70s. I am pretty sure drugs were involved.
You think so?
Are you watching a YouTube video or is that Spotify?
Oh no, I'm watching a YouTube video right
Yeah, so you know that dude is weird.
He is weird.
All right, that's enough. I think I might make that your ringtone. Phil is kind of into it. He's like, wait a minute.
I can't look away, but it's horrifying.
See what I'm saying? Large Marge says, if you were rich enough to invent anything, you got a 30 pack in the fridge.
Wait, if we're doing tubes and everything, why don't you just invent a tube that goes directly from your fridge to your hand?
Because I might accidentally drink the pickle juice or something. You know what I'm saying? I don't want any of that. Good Cat says, I have a very serious man law question. All right, everything stops for this, and then we'll get to the NFL quarterbacks. He says, I turned my head to help my 2-year-old daughter, and when I wasn't looking, my dog jumped up on the chair and ate our bacon.
Oh boy.
What is the appropriate man law reaction? Sorry, buddy, but the right reaction is good dog. The dog is just being a dog. That's on you.
Yeah.
That's on you for not keeping track of your bacon. And you can't blame the dog for I'm sure that dog for the longest time was fighting its natural instincts. He's like, but he's over there and the bacon is right there. I don't blame the dog. And I know if it was my bacon, I'd be upset too, but you got to tip of the hat to the dog. The dog was just being dog.
Good boy.
Sorry, man law does not also it doesn't rule over dogs.
No.
So, it says that dog is man's best friend. And if Randy came to my house and wanted some bacon, do you think I'm going to beat him with a newspaper? I might, but it has nothing to do with the fact that I'd let him have some bacon. Cardinal Art says, I wonder how many times Ricky Henderson would get plunked nowadays for that classic flip of the bat in the trot. And by the way, can we pour a whiskey out for Ricky, please?
Yeah, he had that little bat flip and he had that little shuffle step or that little hop, bunny hop as he started his trot around the bases. These guys now are full on throwing their damn bats. What the hell is going on here?
It's going to get weird. Navy Brad says, breaking news, Broncos quarterbacks will suck until the end of time. Back to you, Phil.
Peyton Manning would disagree with you. Thank you.
He's a Colts quarterback you borrowed. Santa's number one helper says, Randy, the internet should be up. Was yours off for 20 hours?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, about that. Yeah. So I guess according to the guy who works on stuff, he got you covered.
Nice.
Mr. Pringle says, can I change my name to Speedos are better than being naked? No, Mr. Pringle. No. You're always going to be Mr. Pringle. Yeah. Jeffco says he'll have been Mike. I think you need to check if you're in the Matrix. I was watching the YouTube feed and your headphones and mic keep disappearing. That was trippy.
Yeah.
Well, that's because I'm doing the green screen things. I felt left out. Those boys are actually in the studio and I'm not. I'm in my house. But the problem is my green screen is not that good, so it kind of comes apart a little bit.
But
So
you will be here.
Wow.
That's reality.
Have we announced when you're going to be here?
Yeah, I think I mentioned it in passing that both Randy and I will be back in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale starting next Monday. But on Fridays, we will be doing it from our remote locations.
Yeah.
Because, we're rich like that.
Yeah.
888-36. Okay. You are not allowed to hit the boo button anymore, Phil. You use it inappropriately. One of these days,
you've got to learn how to use the soundboard, man.
We're gonna have somebody's child show up to the studio and get on the mic, and he's gonna accidentally hit that, and the child will be scarred.
My name is Michael, and I want to be a sportscaster when I grow up, and I'm going to do my pretend sportscast.
Poor kid, scarred for life by Filthy Phil. He was 4 years old, Phil.
Yeah, ruined his dream.
Cut him down while they're young.
Now he's going to be an over-the-road trucker.
I think this just sets it. When we go on remote, Phil stays in the studios. I think that's probably safest because a lot of people want to pop in one. Although now that he tells people he'll get naked if there's a fight, and nobody's going to start anything.
Yeah.
But I think Phil gets to be in the control room. We will be out on remote.
Yeah.
See what you've done, Phil? Now you've been grounded.
As long as you bring
Randy,
me back some food, I'll be fine.
Just the Tip says, I think I'd be good with Ted Nugent, Cat Scratch Fever. For Phil,
Oh, yeah.
he should use anything by Boy George or, that's it.
Mm.
Thank
Oh.
you, Justin. Phil, I think your ringtone on my phone is being, do you really want to hurt me? Yeah, a little. Yeah. And then, of course, for Jeffrey, you should use Taking Care of Business by BTO.
There we go.
Yeah,
There we
you
go.
are correct. I'm always TCB, my friend. Remember Elvis had the TCB and the Lightning, and he had it actually on his plane, taking care of business.
Yeah.
Hefty Lefty says that Tiny Tim song was played during initiation week for 48 straight hours for pledges in college.
Oh, boy.
I think we just triggered Hefty Lefty.
Oh, boy. Sorry, Hefty Lefty.
Good Cat says, so threatening to send him back to a shelter, is that a no-no for the dog that ate the bacon? No, you go ahead and threaten him with it. Just don't do it. You know, you should hear what I've threatened my pets with.
You ate my bacon. You're about to lose your happy home.
What you do is just take the dog by the collar over the TV and just replay that Sarah McLaughlin video and go, do you want that to be you? I'm not saying don't be mad about it. Just there's no man law violation.
Boy.
Baker's Cocky Hen says Manning played great in that Super Bowl against Seattle, Phil.
Why we got to bring up old things? Why we got to bring up that?
But since we're on the topic of NFL
There we
quarterbacks.
go. There we go.
Thank you. Thank you. It only took me
Very
3
good.
hours to get here.
Very good, Jeff. Go.
Mac Jones, they're saying he is the clear favorite to go as number 3. And Phil is thinking that there's no way Mac Jones is going to go at number 3 to the 49ers.
Mac Jones.
So what do you think is going on here? Why is everybody making, you think this is all a bunch of misdirection where all these teams are kind of making hay about Mac Jones when who they really want is, I don't know, Trey Lance, Justin Fields. I mean, who?
Absolutely. I think that they might be going between Justin Fields and Trey Lance. I think that those are the two options. Between them, I couldn't tell you. I think that maybe them going to the pro day of Justin Fields when he held his second one, them planning to go to that one, that certainly sparks
Is that a bad
interest.
sign when you do 2 pro days? Because you're like, I don't think I did very well the other one. Is that a bad sign?
Well, Mac Jones came out and said he didn't feel like he did very well in his first pro day, so he had to have a second one.
Mm-hmm. Take 2.
Yeah.
That would concern me a little
Yeah.
bit. Although maybe it shouldn't. I don't know. So Mac Jones hanging around. Now there is conversations about who might trade up to the 3 or the 4. Nobody's going to, I think 49ers are going to stay where they're at. I think 1, 2, and 3, unless somebody comes with some serious draft picks. There have been some rumors that the Patriots might be looking to go to 4 or 3. I just don't see any more movement on this. And the Jets, get this. Oh, yeah, the Jets. Guess who's been visiting with them? Brian Hoyer. That's right. Brian Hoyer.
Wow.
Can I use the boo button?
Well, there's no need to boo him. Just the name Brian Hoyer just tells everybody what they need to hear.
I thought he was retired, Brian Hoyer.
No. He has been. Just nobody has told him.
Yeah.
So he keeps playing that way.
Keeps showing up.
Sure. I guess the Patriots were like, we are rich with quarterbacks. We got Cam Newton and Jarrett Stidham. Oh, yeah.
Wow. Good for them.
So I guess the idea is bring Brian Hoyer in to show, Zach Wilson the ropes. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I don't know if Brian Hoyer would be my choice. 49ers have brought in a guy just in case. That's right. Nate Sudafed. They got Nate Sudafed there to back up Jimmy Garoppolo or replace him if they trade him away. I'm sure Nate Sudafed knows that he will never be number 1, right?
Oh, yeah. His job is trying to fight for number 2. Like, remember when Baker Mayfield went number 1 overall and Hugh Jackson went during Hard Knocks, and he's like, congratulations, Baker. You won the job of second place, the backup quarterback. Way to go. You beat out Drew Pearson, whatever his name was. Way to go.
Drew Pearson? I thought Drew Pearson was a Cowboys wide receiver.
Well, either way, he beat him out too.
Speaking of backup quarterbacks, you know what I found in my collection the other day? Because I started to organize my football card collection.
Yeah.
And I got a rookie card for Drew Stanton.
Yeah, Drew Stanton. Yeah, way to go.
There you go.
That's
I'm putting that
card.
in I have a section of ironic or criminals. It's either funny to me that I have it or they're a criminal. And before he killed himself, I have Aaron Hernandez rookie card.
It's in your criminal section there.
Well,
or-
yeah. In fact, he was the first one I put into the folder, and I put jail bars. I put cell bars across that. And haven't had a chance to go back and draw a rope yet. But anyway, why?
Wow.
Just saying. Okay, maybe that's appropriate.
Wow.
Maybe that's appropriate. Let that just simmer. All right. So more quarterback stuff before I get with the cane, the old
Get the hook.
Get the hook. Teddy Bridgewater, they got betting odds out there right now about where he may or may not go. So what do you guys say? Where is Teddy Bridgewater going? By the way, I'm not saying this to be cruel, but after the Panthers, the Broncos are favorites for Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah. He very well may just stay in Carolina and because he's nothing spectacular. He's going to be unabashedly what he is, which is average at best. I don't even think he's bad. I just think he is ho-hum, very middle of the pack as far as starting caliber quarterbacks. I think he's a premier backup quarterback, but as a starting quarterback,
he's another Jacoby Brissett, and he probably would have been way better had he not been injured.
Absolutely.
When he was with the Vikings.
That is unfortunate and tragic. It is sad.
So, here's the odds. The Panthers are the favorites, and then the Broncos. The Texans are next. After that, the Steelers. After that, the Raiders. After that, the Falcons, Dolphins, Bears, Lions. But yeah, he's just a guy it's really hard to put a finger on there. And be honest, between Teddy Bridgewater, Tyrod Taylor, and Jacoby Brissett, if you look at them, they're all the same guy. They're all pretty much the same quarterback, right?
I think Tyrod Taylor, I personally put him just a scotch
right
above at least the Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett is the clear third. I'd say Tyrod Taylor's just above him, and then I would put Teddy Bridgewater as the clear-cut favorite of that group. I'm not exactly excited over any of them to be starters for my Denver Broncos, but they would work.
Anything for you right now is an improvement.
Yeah, Drew Lock, man, he has all the talent in the world. He just cannot rein it in. And I haven't heard a lot of great word out of his leadership abilities. He just doesn't do it for me, man. And it's so sad.
Fish Tank says, Jeffrey, since you're paying rent in my head outside of Hair Boy, is there a quarterback in this draft you would rather have than Tua? Well, Tua's not in the draft. And I don't think that your Dolphins are even thinking about a quarterback right now.
I wouldn't think so.
No, you know what? You guys have made your bed. Now you got to lie in it. We'll find out what Tua is really made of. There's no Ryan Fitzpatrick in town to really, back you up anymore.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, having Teddy Bridgewater there in the building wouldn't be the worst idea.
Sure. Why not? I think Teddy Bridgewater's an absolutely stud of a backup quarterback. I know that that's a weird oxymoron, but it's like Blake Bortles of a few years ago, where it was like, oh, you know what? If we get Blake Bortles, we have the best backup in the league because he's a starting caliber quarterback, just the worst starting quarterback.
Kyle G says, I'm finally heading home, guys. Give me a drink for the road. No. We don't do that.
Soft drink.
Yeah.
Here's
pour him a nice
Arrowhead.
Sure, whatever. It's Pepsi, Mr. Pibb. I don't know what he drinks, but yeah, we don't do the drink and driving thing around here, buddy. Let's see here. Large Marge says at 4:06, you proclaim that if a guy pulls him out, he's fair game. Check the tape, Phil. You're going down like a Bronco quarterback. Oh, I did say that it's okay to kick a guy in the giblets if he's whipping him out at you.
I'm not just whipping that out. I'm whipping it all out. It's like taking out.
That's what. Then I went on to say it's okay to kick the crap out of you.
Right. So it's like, think of Thanksgiving turkey. It's okay to whip out the stuffing, but it's another thing to actually whip out.
Marge, I'm really sad. I read your text. We have to take a break. When we come back, Big George's sports history, and maybe we'll spin that old wheel of sports. And tomorrow we'll talk about quarterbacks, I guess. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
AZ Preps is a 2-hour in-depth look at the Arizona prep sports scene. Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Covering all aspects of the Arizona Interscholastic Association. AZ Preps 365 focuses on all Arizona high school sports, student athletes, news, and notes from around Arizona. Join your host, Jose Garcia, Brett Quintine, and James Mello as they cover the prep sports scene from A to Z. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings from 8 to 10 on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports.
Okay, you're back to dining out, but there's dining and there's dinnertainment. Get ready for an amazing dining experience like none you've ever had at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse in Scottsdale. When it comes to Asian cuisine, nobody does it better or more authentic than Kasai, where talented teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. It's not just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where delicious 7-course meals prepared right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for celebrations, date night, or a night on the town. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on teppanyaki, sushi, cocktails, and more. Book your night of fun right now. Visit KasaiScottsdale.com. That's KASAI Scottsdale.com or call 480-607-1114. That's 480-607-1114. We'll see you there.
Hey guys, it's Stephen McCollum from the main event here on 1580 The Fanatic. Coming up on Friday at 1 p.m., Suns go to LA for a second game of the back-to-back. Can they keep the win streak alive against the Clippers? Diamondbacks open up their home season against the Reds. We'll preview and look back at the first 2 series of the year. The Masters has been tough. I'll get you updated on Friday morning action. NASCAR is back this weekend. We'll preview. So join me, Stephen McCollum, on the main event Friday, 1 p.m. on 1580, 99.3 FM, The Fanatic.
The Masters on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, sponsored by Harmon Solar, IQ Wealth Management, Summit Male Medical Center, Kasai Japanese Steakhouse.
Is it his time?
Follow along with the 85th Annual Masters Tournament. Listen for daily updates Wednesday through Sunday, followed by the Masters Tonight Show at 7 p.m. The 85th Annual Masters Tournament, exclusively on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Last summer, Arizona experienced record heat. Hottest summer in Arizona history. 145 days of 100+ degrees, 53 days of over 110. Summer heat is starting sooner and it's lasting longer, and your power bills are more expensive every year. Take control of your power bills. Call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar is locally owned and operated. They use top-of-the-line equipment, and they're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com. Harmon Solar is an REC certified solar professional.
1580 for the win. Let's go.
And 99.3 FM, The Fanatic.
The players are having fun and the broadcasters are having fun. 24 hours a day.
We talk sports.
The Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. Yes, we're right in the middle of the Masters. Be sure to tune in for Masters tonight, 7 p.m. Special presentation every night that the Masters is playing, and they'll have all the recaps and information and insight into the next day's round of golf. I have to cough now. Hold on. Sorry, I don't have a button. I gave it to the guys at Money Radio. 888-368-1580. Fish Tank says, well, Jeffrey, a few days ago, you asked me how sure I was that the Finns weren't interested in a quarterback, and it seemed like you thought we might take a quarterback, and it's been in my head this entire time.
Right.
I feel better now. Here's the thing about that. Yes, I was just messing with you, but here's my honest opinion. They should be trying to think of another quarterback, even if it's not a first round pick kind of guy. They need to bring in somebody who they think might either complement or just maybe they're like, we got to take a chance with this guy because he looks like he might be somebody good. Because Tua is still kind of a big question mark. And so while I was kidding, I don't think that they are going to take him in a first round, but they do need to find themselves another quarterback. Sorry, Fish Tank, it's just a fact. And unless, Tua lights it up this year, then there you go.
Look, I just wanted to say for the Washington football team of yesteryear, when they drafted Robert Griffin III, never forget that they also drafted Kirk Cousins in the 3rd round of that exact same year. So if they can do that within the same draft,
Right.
I think that it's highly possible that the Dolphins this year with the 2nd round pick, look at Jalen Hurts of last year. He usurped and eventually took over for Carson Wentz. I think it's very possible that the Dolphins could, in the top of the 2nd round or in the middle, because that's actually where they are, if they go in the 2nd round and draft that kid out of Stanford, I forget his name off the top of my head, but he's going up the draft boards. He's kind of seen as a very promising prospect, but since
Oh, you're talking about Smitherson.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, people are amazed that when I'm on camera and I take a drink of water and Phil's still talking. They
Mhm.
don't know how I do it.
Yeah.
888-368-1580. Boomer Sooner says, hey, Sooner softball on a 32-game winning streak dating back to last season. He says they got canceled for the series this weekend and immediately scheduled 2 games this weekend on the road. Number 1 for sure.
Wow.
I'm not really completely sure what he's talking about, but I agree. Just the Tip says, Jeffrey, tomorrow has less of a chance of talking about quarterbacks than you do of squiring Phil around Old Town Scottsdale and matching Speedos. If Thursday is this off the schedule, Friday has no hope.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
what kind of bet would you have to lose to walk down downtown Phoenix with me, proud,
I would
hand
never
in hand,
make the bet.
arm in
I would
arm,
never
That
make
would
the bet.
Never happen.
Speedo to Speedo?
It would have no indication in a lack of confidence in my position of what the bet would be about. But no, I would never make that bet ever, ever, ever. So Phil, you can just take that off your vision board or whatever it is you
Vision board.
whatever it is you have
Take it off your vision board, Phil.
decided to dream for. It ain't ever, ever, ever gonna happen. Good Cat says now that Jeffrey and Randy are gonna be back in studio, manning the microphones and the board,
Yeah.
there is Phil really necessary?
Yes.
Phil's
Yes.
gonna run the control room there. That place is filthy, and until it's cleaned, Randy's not going in.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
I think there's still some powdered donuts from Chief around.
Cool, save those. Baker's Cocky Hen says Arrowhead water fill. Now that's bad taste.
Well, hey, listen, if he's suggesting whatever we
Arrowhead.
need, you like Arrowhead?
Yeah,
No, it is
I'll drink
disgusting.
Arrowhead water. I don't care about
Oh, it's disgusting.
it. It's got a lot of minerals.
No, that's not minerals. That's minerals from somewhere nasty. You don't
Says
want that.
says the man who eats on his toilet.
Yeah. Shut up, Phil. Big George says, I have a signed Philip Adams rookie card. Is that
Hey.
worth anything after today?
Not as much as a Philip Amrine signed rookie card, but
Oh,
thank you.
brother. Hefty Lefty says, ever since Peyton retired, I would gladly take ho hum for a year. Kiss the Cook says, I have an Aaron Hernandez card, but it came with a string attached. It's just so wrong. Blissful Hayes says, is that Drew Stanton card worth 10 cents yet? Probably not. Jagdog says Saban was on a talk show the other night and he said Lynch and Shanahan were standing right next to him and asked him no questions at all about Mac Jones. So maybe the 49ers not interested.
Mac Jones.
Or maybe they're not interested in your opinion, Saban.
Yeah, Saban, he's been giving a lot of opinions to Bill Belichick, and those don't usually work out in the draft.
Papa Mike says, Phil, great job on the boo button. Keep it up. Jeffrey, why did that kid with the whiny voice have to be named Michael? The hell is he doing?
Oh, yeah, no, he was
A kid with the whiny voice.
no, you were imitating me with the boo button. You were
Oh,
saying,
I don't
yeah,
know.
the
Oh,
Freudian
Papa
slip.
Mike.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Freudian slip for all the crap you've been giving me lately. How's that?
Yeah.
Let's do this. It's time now, ladies and gentlemen. We do this every day. A 7-foot-tall lawyer likes to give us the stuff. Now, somebody was saying that there were 2 really great ones for the day. I know I'm leaving one out, so let's at least get to this, and you can tell me where we went wrong. It's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1974, Hammer and Hank Aaron, at the age of 40, broke Babe Ruth's home run record when he hit his 715th career home run off Al Downing in the Los Angeles Dodgers in the 4th inning before a national television audience of 53,775 cheering fans. I think that means that You know, the TV audience is probably bigger than that, but there is 53,000 people there.
Yeah, at the stadium. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I guess this home run flew 385 feet and it cleared the fence in left center field. Fireworks or arch all over the place, and the rain was pouring down, and Aaron was just like cool as a cucumber, trotting around the bases for the 750th time in his career.
Yeah,
a career that spanned over 3 decades.
Also,
So, yes.
a part of that, if you remember the historic trot around the bases, there were people on the field, kind of escorting him around the bases. When he got to home plate, if you look closely, you'll see a new reporter with a white suit on, and it was old Craig Sager. And that was early on in his career before he got the ties going and the crazy suits.
Yeah, it was funny because, of course, the 70s.
Yeah.
And I still can't believe they let them run right out there.
Oh, yeah.
Into the field of play like that.
Yeah. And there was no real problem with that. And the thing about it that made that especially dangerous was Hank Aaron had been receiving, he and his family, his wife, his kids were all receiving death threats. And so to allow people on the field, that could have gone wrong real fast. So they're very thankful that it didn't, and very thankful that Henry Aaron was able to make that mark. Good for him.
By the way, you want to see a still shot of the idiot texting
and see your steel shot
and riding the bike. I went on there and I captured that photograph right as he made contact right there.
That's fantastic.
Sorry.
That's spectacular.
Fish Tank says, remember when you could just storm the field and not get tackled?
Yeah.
Well, that time is over. Well, that time has really sort of been variable because as you remember, an old Colts player once completely just obliterated a guy who ran out on the field. And that was quite some time ago.
And good for him. Good for him.
I agree. If somebody runs down in the field, I think it should be open season. Basically, it should be on the ticket. If you run on the field, your ass is
We
grass.
are not responsible for what happens to you if you run onto the field.
Mm-hmm. Against the spread, says Randy, can all the Chicago Bears fans out here in the Valley get an inspirational speech from yourself or Dusty Rhodes? We could really use some hope facing an abysmal season.
I don't know what to say about it. Let's see if our old friend Dusty Rhodes is available. Well, Dusty Rhodes, the American dream, never give up. Never, ever, ever give up. Never let your guard down. The Chicago Bears.
Yeah, Bears. You said the Bears.
The Chicago Bears are one of the most spirited and historical teams ever to grace the gridiron. I think back to the glory days, ladies and gentlemen, of the great Bear and Papa Bear on the field, leading his men to victory. Never, ever. Yeah, George F. Hallis. You don't know about it. Yeah, George F. Hallis?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was Papa
They
Bear.
called George Hallis Papa Bear.
Where was that? Never give up. You will overcome, and you will be great again. The Orange Sea is going to rise again. Never give up.
Hey, Dusty, did you know that Matt Nagy is still coach of the Bears?
Oh, you got that? No chance. Sorry.
Sorry against the spread. Sorry. Hefty Lefty says the good old days of sports when you could escort Hank Aaron around the bases and storm the court after an NBA Finals win. Yep, that's over. Big George says thank you for reading on this date in sports history, Jeffrey. First time in a while I've actually got to hear it and listen to the whole show.
Good for you.
High quality as always. Thank you, and I love you guys. All right, don't make it weird, George. MMA Joe says, so wait, Phil would strip down rather than the fight? As a self-defense a student of mine once asked how to approach a situation, I told him, knock the guy out once he touches his belt or shirt. And the student says, what about de-escalation? No, knock his ass out, grasshopper.
Yeah.
Sorry, Phil.
Yeah, first thing
See
you
what
do.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
You're
first
going
thing
to
you
get
do.
beat down for that. Just the Tip says, my other top event today was Tiger winning his 4th major in 294 days. Only golfer ever to hold 4 majors consecutively. Tiger slam, man. He was the most dominant golfer ever. Hammer and Hank was the most dominant home run hitter of his career. Those two idiots who ran on the field with Hank should have been put on a bike and run into the back of a van.
Jeez, wow.
Yeah, you know what? I just want to brag about something. I was one of the few people
For the
on
first
the
time
planet.
in the show's history.
Shut up, Phil. I'm one of the only people on the planet who still believed that Tiger Woods could come back and win a major. And I actually said the Masters. I called it years before it happened. And I don't talk to the guy anymore, or else he'd be giving me a big old steak dinner right now. A guy from Palm Springs. Because I told him back that this is 2013 or 14. I says, Tiger Woods, I don't care about his surgeries. I don't care about what's happening in his life. You cannot count him out. He will be back and he will win at least one more major. And I say it will be the Masters. And damn if I didn't get that one right.
Good call.
So, golf is one of those things where, anything's possible. You can come back. Like I said the other day, you don't have to be all that athletic. I mean, it helps. I mean, for parts of the game, but I always just say, you really think you have to be an athlete to be good at golf? Point over there at old Drunky Daily, and that tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, but what has Daly done? I mean, yeah, he had a good run there early on.
I didn't say it would last forever,
right? But I mean, when you look
possible.
You look at these guys nowadays that are winning multiple majors, they're winning multiple tournaments. They're all fit. They all have a nutrition routine. They've got a athletic training routine. These guys are really athletes. They really are. They have to keep their body up there.
But it's you can compensate and change up a little bit if something goes wrong better than you can for other sports. Big George says, I'm a witness to you telling previous co-hosts that Tiger Woods would win another major, and he laughed at you. Oh, no, that was Eric. He laughed at me about that, too. Who's laughing now? Well, I guess we are because we don't get to hear him.
Hey, guys, I want to talk about some quarterbacks in the NFL. You all right with that?
Hey, that's a great idea. Oh, darn, Phil. We're just out of time. Sorry about that.
I might be 50 years old, but I'm pretty sure I can still kick you in the face standing up.
Before I get naked or no?
Well, now I know what you're going to do. It'll be way before. All right, guys, I guess that's it for us. We'll be back in your radios again tomorrow at 3 p.m. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Have a good night.
From the